Yo, 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 yo. Welcome to Little Blackbird 91. We're talking to you guys about Love is Blind, the reunion. It's been crazy. It's been amazing. It's been mad. And we finally come to the end of a journey where we've seen some craziness happen on the show. Listen, if you are new to this channel, do me a massive favor. Like it, share, subscribe to this channel because we do great content like this. And if you are returning, you already know what it is, baby. You got the minerals. You got the minerals. Stay hydrated because why? The streets out there, they are hot. Okay. Listen. Love is blind. The reunion. The reunion. The reunion. This reunion was a crazy, crazy reunion because there was so many different things that happened, so many mad things that took place on the show. I think we can be honest here and say that there was too many things that were going on. Too many things that were going on that we need to discuss. Okay, we need to discuss the fact that Shake was moving absolutely mad. Okay, all right, by trying to insert himself on everybody's business. But whilst he was doing that, I must admit that I wanted him to do so. Because what the frick was going on? Everybody came with PRPC interview answers for everything that was mad. There was so much mad things going on, and you're going to give me a PCPR answer. I wanted to know exactly with Jarrett and Ayana. Please, y'all covered it up real nice about she wasn't second choice. Okay, but you chose someone else and then chose someone and then went for Ayana after. I wanted to hear what was the discussion after. I wanted to hear what happened when you realized the brother had chosen Mallory first, went to propose to her, and then came back. That's what I wanted to know. That's what I wanted to know. Okay. I wanted to know that particular truth. Right. So when I didn't get that truth, I'm disappointed. Why were you not here? It's a waste of my time, waste of your time. Let's be honest. Y'all didn't answer none of these questions. Love Jarrett and Diana though. I mean, they look beautiful, they look nice, they look lovely to look at, But hey, I'm gonna be honest, it wasn't given what it needed to give. Number two, why the heck are Shayna and Shane meeting up after the show, but then don't want to talk about it? Sir, I'm gonna need you to fix the frick up. You are coming on a reunion, okay? You did what you did, and then you came and you saw Shayna after the show had been done. Y'all met up, and you made it even more of a thing for me to now question. Because why would you not talk about the fact that you two met up? If it's really a friendship thing, why would you not meet up? Why would we not discuss it on the show that you met up after? Why is it such a big deal? Oh, because it would take away from myself and Natalie segment. Shut up. Stop lying. It's absolute rubbish. The fact that you guys didn't discuss the fact that you guys met up after the show had been done. What was discussed? What was talked about? Well, if it was really just friends, Shane, and I'm not talking about Shayna because Shayna unfortunately had to kind of temper it down. Yes, exactly. Shane had to temper it down and had to go with what Shane said. But Shane should have spoke about it. That for me is very suspect. That for me, I don't trust him one bit. I don't trust Shane one bit. I'm just gonna be honest with you. Yeah, I'm not gonna mention it one bit. Right? I don't trust Shane. Simple as. Because if you can do that, it is what it is. Right? Number two, we didn't really fully discuss what actually was said on the argument between himself and Natalie. That's what I wanted to know. I wanted to know what was discussed during the argument, what was said in the argument that went mad. That's what I want to know. What did you say? Apart from you hate her, what else did you say? That's what I want to know. What else did you say? Okay? Because, baby, all I'm seeing right now is, fam, nothing added to this particular thing. Right? It's honestly a level of madness, and I wanted to know more. Okay, all right. The mere fact as well that Shane also wanted to get Shane wanted her to how did I get to this point? How did I get to I've apologized for my part. I want you to apologize. Let me tell you something about Shane. Shane will never take full accountability of anything without getting another person to apologize because he always do that. Someone said he call him a cokehead. Do you know what I'm saying? Right? Shane will never apologize unless he gets her to apologize as well. Right? Because he can't deal with any negative comments. Right? because they can't deal with negative comments. So for me, I was looking, I was like, fam, we need more information from you. We need far more information from you. Do you get what I'm saying? We need far more information from you. Okay. Then we also had then we also had the situation with um Jarrett, Mallory, Salvador triangle, okay? Because everybody was doing PRPC right now, yeah? Damage control nonsense crap that they were doing, yeah? When it's a reunion and we need to find out answers. So, do you know what? The next reunion, okay, thank you, thank you. So why not say it? If you met in a group, why not say this is stuff that I'm talking about. This is shady blood. Yeah, shady blood. I'm not even on that. So we have Mallory, Jarrett, and Salvador. First of all, Salvador, Jarrett lied to you. And listen, this is my thing as well. Every time people talk about I want to respect your marriage, I want to respect your Salvador was saying that I want to respect your marriage, I want to respect your union, Jarrett, so I don't want to go too hard. No, but I need you to go hard though, bro. I need you to go hard though, bro. I need you to go hard because the answers are not answering right now. The answers are not answering right now, okay? Because first and foremost, you just watched a clip where they lied to your face, okay? You just watched a clip where Jarrett lied to your face and was talking with Mallory and bunged your ring, blood, right? And bunged your ring. So for me, it would have been and this is what happened. This is why Salvador is always going to be passive aggressive. Sorry about that. This is why Salvador's always going to be passive aggressive because you're still passive aggressive right now on the show. Okay, and you see when you're passive aggressive, right? This situation where you're like, oh, I had to think about their marriage. Why are you thinking about their marriage? Don't if they're good, they're good. If they're good, they're good. Don't worry about that. But you got to get your answers, bro. You got to get your answers. He lied to you. Yeah, I agree. I agree. We need somebody who's going to be like pat 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 pat. But no, you know what I mean? Like y'all not about to come on this show and then tell half things, fam. No, on this thing we're going to ask you questions, right? We're going to ask you questions. So really and truly, when I'm looking at it and I'm like, Jared, the Salvador was pissed, right? And then instead of actually saying to him, bro, I'm not going to lie to you, fam. Like, why? Let me bring it up to you because you lied to me earlier on. Let's discuss it right now. Why did you say about the ring situation, right? And then Jarrett, yeah, uh, you know, well, Jarrett apologized is better than not doing it. But the apology was weak because the apology was still not truthful. I said it as a joke. As a joke. You are not. No, 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 no. You think I'm gonna let you say that as a joke? No, 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 no. As a joke. As a joke. As a joke. You telling me that you come up to my gal, say to my girl, what ring would you have? You know what? What ring did you get? Oh, you didn't get a gold ring. Okay, okay, okay. Okay. It was a silver ring. Well, you know what ring I would have got you? Where's the joke in it? Because it's absolute truth. You did get her a different ring, so there's no joke in this. You got a different ring. You know what I'm saying? You got a different ring. There's no joke in this. Do you know what I'm saying? You actually got a different ring, so there is no joke in the whole situation. I'll break down everybody's thing a little bit more. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Like it was not a joke. It's honestly like it weren't a joke, bro. So the apology, yeah, I hear the apology from Jarrett, but we're apologizing behind the shield still. You know what I'm saying? It was still behind the shield because, and that's what I'm saying to you that he's passive aggressive because I would have said to him, bro, how is it a joke? No, tell me how is it a joke when you actually bought her a gold ring, right? Do you know what I'm saying? And when I brought up to you, you lied. That's the question, style by AJ. That's the question. That's the question. I don't know. I can't remember if he did or not. I can't remember if he did or not. I can't remember if he did or not. And y'all not also saying it was a joke too? Oh man, when you can see certain things just going down the hill and that, it just looking a bit like your shit, and it's here, it's all over here. Yeah. It's ooh, you know what I mean? Like that's like honestly, it's mad. You know what I'm saying? It's mad. Nah. Of course, that's boys, but no. But the issue is, it is your girl with him, yes. But you asked him, and remember, we cool. We're supposed to be cool anyway, at least on the show after you've chosen your person. So you've lied to me. That's completely different. You know what I'm saying? You've had to lie to my face. Of course, I'm going to challenge you. Now, I can challenge Mallory too, but you lied to me when I came to you, bro. Telling me about we cool, we friends, da 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 da. Meanwhile, you were lying to me and then dogging me out. Dogging me out. Okay? Dogging me out. You know what I'm saying? Dogging me out to the gold down world. You know, like honestly, it looks like Sal didn't think it was even work. No, but Sal doesn't do it. He doesn't do it at all. This is why he got. This is why he got. This is why he got played by Mal. This is why he got. That's why he got lied to by Jarrett. He has that energy that tells you you can do that to. You can do that to Salvador. Salvador ain't about to check you. Hey, Salvador's not about to check you. Salvador's not gonna check you, bro. Salvador's not gonna check you. Do you know what I mean? Like honestly, anyway. Yeah, and so I also like, yeah, and then obviously Salvador and he look, okay. Here's another thing, guys. Here's another thing. Salvador said obviously he didn't want to bring up stuff with Mallory as well, and again we'll go deeper when we do individual couples. Salvador said he didn't want to go deeper with Mallory because there were some things that were happening in a relationship that he didn't want to necessarily discuss and yada yada yada. Yeah, but here's the thing. Here's the thing about it as well. Salvador said something which made me think that he's got some skeletons in the closet too. Okay, right? Salvador said about karma coming back round. Right? He wasn't talking about in terms of Mallory. He's talking about in terms of himself. How about karma coming back round again? Right? So karma coming back round. It's not just for her. It's him too. Right? So there's something that Salvador hasn't told us that he's done. It's probably the X thing, which he said it wasn't an X, it was a girl. So there's something that Salvador's not fully letting us know as well. Listen, look, you already know. Listen, you already know. I'll be thinking. I just realized my microphone's not even in. I've been talking to the thingy. I didn't realize my microphone's not even in. Let me put my microphone in. There we go. Sorry about that, guys. I didn't have my microphone in. I had the thing in. So yeah, it's mad because I'm looking at it and I'm like, yo, Salvador said, Salvador was saying, oh, karma's coming back. Maybe it's my karma. He said, maybe it's my karma. I said, maybe it's your karma. Oh, because you was moving mad with that girl and you realized you're moving mad with that girl. Okay, because you knew you were moving mad with that girl and you knew there was something more that you ain't told us, bro. There's something more that you ain't told us. I see you. Don't think that you see you, yeah? See you. I see you. I see you, sir. Okay. So Salvador's got some things we've got to talk about. We'll talk about Salvador a little bit later too. And then we had obviously we also had what should we call it? Who was the other person I was thinking of? Okay, Shake. We had Shake. Oh man, he said about Shake. Nasty said what? He did a live about the other girl. What did he say? What did he say? We want to know. What did he say? What did he say about the other girl? Let us know, Nas. What did he say? Yeah, so and then we also had, like I said, we had Shake moving mad this whole season. But I mean, listen, Shake said some things that were mad. Okay, there were some things that Shake just didn't need to say. Okay, I want to say though, there are things that Shake said that it is delivered very poorly, but there is some truth to what he's saying. Right? At least, let me say this, number one. He's absolutely right, okay, that looks do play a massive part. For everyone to sit there and lie when you're a good-looking cast and pretend as if looks don't play a part when the doors open that you definitely want to make this work is some bullcrap. Okay, because a whole cast looks decent. None of you are big and fat. None of you are potentially ugly per se. You're all a good-looking potential cast on around the same look range. So I don't know where this thing of Love Is Blind, because they got a whole bunch of people that were good-looking. Where the big girls at? Where the big guys at? Right? There was a couple of girls that were big on the show and they never made it nowhere. So I'll go on for them then. Right? Because y'all were asking questions that was making you have an idea of what people look like. Let's not pretend as if you were doing Love Is Really Blind, because you knew who you were getting into. Yeah. Right? The cast is not ugly. When in Rome, the cast is not ugly. Sorry, the cast is not ugly. Whether you think they're good looking for you or not, the cast is not ugly. They're not. They're really not. So for them to say like, of course, that's why I say I agree with him. I don't like the way he delivered it. I really don't. I think the way he delivers it. I said truth without love is cruel, and that's what he's presented. It's cruel the way he's presented it. But the truth of the matter is true. They are all fairly decent people. Even last season, Lauren and Cameron. Lauren can't get man. Shut up, blood. Wait to me, Lauren can't get man. Girl like that. Get out of here, because that's not normal people. That's not normal people. You know what I'm saying? Like, listen, at the end of the day, someone said if Shake wanted 100 bulb woman, don't come and Love Is Blind. But yet the big gal are not getting man. So you're saying that, but the big gal are not getting man. As much as we're saying, yes, you might want to go for 100 bulb girl. I get it. I absolutely hear that. But let's not pretend that people are going for the big gal. They're not. They're not. Right? You really want to do an experiment? Make everybody unconventionally beautiful, unbeautiful. Yeah, let's make sure people are not that attractive. Yeah, and put people with them and see what happens. And see if the looks don't make a difference, fam. Of course, when the doors open, people are gonna feel some way, man. Let's not lie, brother. You know what I'm saying? We're definitely superficial, man. Let's not pretend. You know what I'm saying? It's annoying. Like, as if you know you like what you like. So yes, he made a good point about the fact that, you know what, being the show as it is, he doesn't want a certain type of gal. You understand? You know, he doesn't want he don't want that, right? You know. Someone said, now I'm going too far, but I'm not. It's the honest truth. Listen, the truth of the matter is, look, the production team are just as bad as Shake, because they literally chose people that are going to be too nice. They're going to be a certain level of good lookingness on the show. So they know what they're doing about Love Is Blind. Love Is Blind. When you were choosing them, was it blind? When the producers were choosing people, were they blind? You weren't blind. You opened your eyes to see. So yes, love is blurry indeed. Let the brother have his thing, right? Let the brother have his thing. All right. You know what I'm saying? Let's see what I want. You feel me? Right? So, yeah, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Someone said you are. That's not what the show is about. So what if Lauren was good looking girl? Being a good looking girl doesn't get you a man. It doesn't get you a good. No, but it makes a huge difference. You see that? Women do this a lot. Listen, ladies, I appreciate you lot, but I want you to understand something, right? Yeah. Okay. All right. Man, them. The eyes don't stop working. The eyes don't stop working. It's a pretense of a lie for most men in the Western world. Maybe in the Eastern culture might be different. In the Western world, a majority of us have eyes, and because we have choice, we make choices. Looks do play a part. I've said this before. Y'all, you were killing me last time when I said this before. Last time when I said it, and people were there. So this look thing is very important. You know what I'm saying? Let's not pretend. Look, you no, man. When Jarrett saw Ayana, he's excited because the girl was banging. At least the girl was banging. At least the girl was banging. You get me? At least the girl was banging. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? At least the girl was banging. Come on. That's it. You feel me? Yeah. The show was banging. Yeah. Nah, Yeah, you're right. That is very true, Sabrina. That's very true. I'm not saying people don't have problems choosing. I'm saying that it makes a huge difference. All right. It makes a huge difference. Lauren on the show was a very beautiful black woman. Listen, I'm talking spicy good. I'm talking levels with Lauren. Do you understand? So to put her on the show and say Love is Blind, like I was like, okay, but these casts are very beautiful people. We have very good looking people. They're not ugly people on this show. You know what I'm saying? They're not unconventionally unbeautiful. Do you know what I mean? That's what I'm trying to say. Like, so let's not pretend that the show is Love is Blind. It really isn't necessarily Love is Blind, because when the doors open, people see what they see. Mallory opened the door and saw Salvador and couldn't handle. Mallory saw Salvador as the doors opened and she said, "Do you know what? I'm not even sure if I'm really feeling him like that." Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Charles Lucas said they're average looking. That's for you. That's for you. That's for you. If you said average looking, that's for you. That's for you. Okay, so yeah, so Shake's thing. Again, I don't like Shake's behavior and how he goes about things, because like it's and the thing about the thing about Shake is he's obnoxious. Okay, the thing about Shake is he's obnoxious, and nobody likes arrogance on that level. Nobody does. It's not attractive. It's not cute. It's not nice to be around. Okay. He's obnoxious. Okay. He's rude. And as well, it sounds like he was saying even more worse things about Deep behind her back. Now that is contemptible. That's ugly. And that is something we'll never rock with. Right? That will never rock with. Because in the grand scheme of things, sir, you are a human being interacting with other human beings, and you've got to know that you have to temper how you speak. And I always say it again: talking truth without love is cruel, right? And so for me, when I saw Shake, I said on the show, I said, yeah, you may say some certain things are true, okay, all right, but he was absolutely right. Everybody was being fake and everybody's pretending and being very PR on the reunion. I wish they let Shake talk more. I know he was moving mad, but I wish they let him talk more, because everybody was PRing it and PCing it. We learned nothing, as you lot have said. Nothing came out of that show, that reunion, that we didn't already know. I'm hurt. Okay, we know you're hurt. What conversation did you guys have? Right? So unfortunately, right? We don't get we I wish I wish they'd done more, but with Shake being the way he is, with Shake being the way she is, you know, uh he's contempt, you can't like him. He is a villain. He is a villain, because you don't realize how your message or your words or your truth affects other people, right? You don't realize. You don't check how it's hitting people. You just talk, right? Yeah, exactly. It was too excited to drop villainous thing. Like, you gotta be cold of it. And then talking out of turn when it wasn't your turn. Listen, I would have rather him be shady rather than be hateful, because that's what he was necessarily doing. The difference is different. This is a big difference, right? You gotta be being shady can be accepted. Not everyone will like you, but being shady is different from being hateful. People can't be around hateful people, and you're being hateful because you consistently kept on coming at Deep the way she's coming at, right? And now, just go back to this point. Everybody keeps saying that, not everyone, but some people say obviously looks don't really play a part, right? It does. Look how as soon as Shake moved mad, what did the lady say? Look how beautiful Deepti is. How can you do this to Deepti? Look how beautiful she is. Oh, but if it's not about looks, why are we mentioning that she's so beautiful? Why are we mentioning that Deepti's beautiful? Right? Because instinctively we all do it. We hold value in looks. Because as soon as Shake was moving mad with Deepti, oh, how can you do to the goddess looking Deepti? Deepti be this fine baby. How can you do this to her? Fine babe like Deep. How can you do this to her? Anyway, so Shake was moving mad, right? Shake was moving mad. Like, you know what I'm saying? So Shake, if Shake was dropping tea, it would have been people would have got behind him more. If Shake was saying, "Hey, I ain't gonna lie to you," like he did with the like he did with the Mao and the Salvador thing. We need more like that. We need more of that. We needed more. I needed him to do more of that, sir. Like, hey, but it's the way he gets too excited. It should have been like, look, I ain't gonna lie to you, but do you guys remember the fact that Jarrett did the thing, and then Salvador, you had X girl. I mean, I'm just saying, like, it's kind of mad. And if he kept on dropping things like that, it would have been powerful. You know what I'm saying, right? It would have been powerful. I mean, he would have been a villain, okay, all right. It would have been a villain, but he would have been one that might have been, at least we could have been like, you know what? He did it for the greater good. You know what I mean? We could, could have been for the greater good, right? So it's unfortunate because he was doing too much in terms of the hate aspect. You know what I'm saying? Like, just keep dropping the T like you were dropping would have kept you. Would have been fine, right? Would have been fine. Keep dropping the T. Natalie, oh man, I would have been mad. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's mad. See, but this is what I'm saying though. Deepti being pretty made Shake look even more. Why? Why? Right? This comment is what I'm talking about. Not that it's bad. It proves what all of us feel. You cannot pretend as if you don't hold value in looks. If anyone tells you that they don't hold value in looks, I'm gonna tell you, I think you're lying. Because even this, I think Deepti being pretty made Shake look even more ridiculous. Why would it make it look more ridiculous? Because we put a value on looks. And men, especially us, we put value on looks. Right? Now, it's funny because Shake said the only person that he found attractive was Vanessa. Can I just say this? I just want to say this as well. I just want to say this, right? Women, I love you, especially my black women. I love you. Black women, listen, hit me if you're fine and black. Listen, hit me in the DMs. You know what I'm saying? I ain't got no problems with that. You know what I mean? I'm single. I'm ready to mingle. Anyway, but real spit. So Shake, not Shake, but Shake finding an attraction to Vanessa, right? Shake finding attraction to Vanessa, okay, was wild to me. But I understood it, right? Okay. I think he likes a little bit of that craziness. I think he likes a little bit of that little madness in his brain. Vanessa was shocked. I wasn't shocked by that. Why would he not find you attractive? Just because someone said, but you're not ready to love. You're right. I'm not ready to love. 2023. Just because obviously you had you said what you said about him doesn't change his attraction to you, right? I can find a girl attractive, but necessarily I'm not attracted. You know what I mean? I can find her attractive. I can find her good looking. You understand? Right? If a girl looking bad and she's got bad issues or bad behavior, I can still think that she's good looking. You know what I'm saying? But you just overall, I call it Vanessa. Why am I bad? It's not Vanessa. It's What's the host name again? Sorry, my bad. I called her Vanessa. The host name. I called her Vanessa. My bad. What's her name? There we go. Yeah. So, that is her name, Vanessa. Okay, Vanessa is it? Okay, yeah. So Vanessa's a very good-looking woman. Okay, Vanessa's a very good-looking woman, and so I have no qualms that that he would find her attractive. Here's the thing: I love you, women. Okay, I love you. But do you know what was so funny? Yesterday, unfortunately, I was out filming yesterday, and I was having some really good, long 4-hour, 5-hour conversations with some really great people yesterday talking about relationships. And we talked about men and women communicating. Okay. All right. And masculine, feminine energy. We're talking about all about them things, right? Now, Vanessa showed us how sometimes us men suffer in arguments. Just gonna say it. Okay. Now, not all men, because some men are trash and some men have a lot of feminine energy the way they argue, so it comes out. But Vanessa did something. Okay. Vanessa did something that, okay, is what when we talk about us men sometimes suffer in relationships when it comes to discussing issues. This was a great example of what we're talking about when you miss the mark. Okay. Right? Okay. So, okay, here's the thing. Okay. Vanessa said, you know what? Shake, you were here just to have sex, to F somebody. But Shake didn't F somebody. She made her point that she started off with was really good, and then she twisted the words completely on, like, because she was getting worked up. And this is why I'm saying, like, and it's not just women too, men too. If you get too emotional, this is what happens. If you get too emotional in a situation, you hear what you want to hear. You don't hear what's meant to be said. She totally, literally, okay, just everything. The brother never said any of what you just said, right? The brother never said anything. Okay. All that was said was that, look, hey, I like a certain type of woman, I got a preference, and I'm attracted to you. You know what I'm saying? And then she had to twist the words, twisted the words into a way that made it seem like, hey, cool, like, about sex, but that's not what he was here for. And then when he challenged you, instead of saying sorry, my bad, you tried to deflect and run away. You tried to deflect and go, oh, actually, let's change the subject. I was like, Vanessa, I don't mind you I don't mind her getting involved. It's their show. I don't mind her getting involved. I just said to myself, Vanessa, and this is why I say someone like Nick is good. See, and this is a great point about men. I'm telling you about men. Very important that you find a good type of man. And if you're a man out there, emotional regulation, okay, is important. Okay, it's very important, because if you watch Nick right beside her, no real reaction, kept it real calm. Didn't back her, didn't try to fight for her in the fact of her point, just left her to it and kept it cool. Because some arguments start because you decide to react. He didn't react. Because I don't know what she was going on. She was completely wrong. Vanessa was completely wrong when it came to that part of Shake. I get what she was trying to say, but sis, you missed the mark. Right? Completely missed the mark. Right? Someone said how vain Shake it. Yeah, but if you are going to say that, you have to get it right. You see, in an argument, if you're having an argument with your partner and you say, well, actually what I was trying to point at was this, but you didn't point that out. You completely twisted the words and then accused him of trying to have sex with a woman. And he wasn't doing that. He actually didn't want to sleep with her. It was Shane who told him to go and sleep with her. It was Shane. Shane told her, go and sleep with her. And he said, I don't know if I really want to do that. I don't know if I want to do that. Now, whether he was saying he didn't want to sleep with her because he really didn't fancy her, okay, or etc., etc. Again, it doesn't really make a difference, right? It makes no difference to me. It's all about the fact that in that moment, sis, you got it completely wrong, absolutely wrong. And I'm using it, I'm using that as an example to show you that how these arguments can go left, right? Someone said it would have said her, yeah, but again, that's besides the point. This is what I'm talking about. It is besides the point. And when we argue like this is how arguments in relationships go wild, because you're arguing from a standpoint that doesn't exist. It doesn't exist. It doesn't exist. It does not exist. It does not exist. Whether you, and I keep saying this again, whether you like Shake or not makes no difference. It is about the points you're making. You see, this is what we're talking about. You're still missing a point. And this is what, if you're still doing, well, Shake is a bad guy, you're missing the point. If you're still saying Shake is a bad guy, you're missing the point. Because what you're actually saying is, I can say whatever I want to say because he's a bad person. It is what it is. But that's not the argument we're having here. Right? That's not the argument I'm having here. I need you to understand this so that when you're in your partner, you don't do this to your partner. And you know what I'm saying? And that's why I said specifically women first, right? This is why I said specifically women first, right? Because at the end of the day, okay, right, when we are dealing with arguments with our partners, you've got to stay, thank you. You've got to stay in the logics, not the feelings, because what can happen is as soon as you do that, you blow up. You blow up. Right? You blow up. And instead of coming with the actual point that she needed to come with, which was actually, do you know what? I thought you were vain and I thought you were superficial. She got so worked up that she lost her point. That lets me know. I said, if that's the case, she probably does that in a relationship too, right? She might be doing that in a relationship too, right? So, yes, you may not agree with Shake. You may not think it's great, but the point was completely missed, right? You point was completely missed, and I'm saying it in the sense of so we can actually see, you know, I'm talking about in terms of so we can actually see from an argument relationship standpoint. This is not about whether if he's we all agree that he's wrong. We all agree he's wrong. We all agree he's wrong, and we all agree. I know. When she said that, I'm not gonna lie to you. If you have to give me an ultimatum, we are in dangerous position. I mean, to be honest, but I hear what you say. I know. And exactly. This is my point as well about relationship and arguments. Thank you, Amy QB, because you brought up a really great point. She didn't apologize for getting it wrong, right? She didn't apologize for getting it wrong, right? And so instead, okay, of actually addressing the issue, right? And then saying sorry after you missed it, she went further deeper and said, you know what, it doesn't matter, let's move on. And then there was like, but it was about him. So it's like, I come back to you, oh, it's your segment. See, if you just said, you know what, I actually got that wrong. I got too hyped and I made a mistake. I'm sorry for that. I concluded incorrectly. What I really wanted to say was, you know what, I felt like right? I mean, man, do you know what I mean? So that's what I'm talking about in terms of relationships. So if you're watching it, use it as a basis that let's make sure that we're not doing the same thing that Vanessa's doing in my relationships. You know what I'm saying? Let's make sure that we're not doing the same thing in our own relationships. Like, because if you do that, you're going to end up missing, a lot of your arguments. You know, and you're going to end up missing a lot of arguments that are going to become silly for nothing because you said something and then someone else replies to the nonsense that you said. It becomes an issue. Someone said Vanessa was right. I don't know how you can say she was right when she was factually wrong, but I hear what you said. Still, I hear what you said. I hear what you're saying. Okay, but we're gonna get some. I'm gonna get some people on in a second or two. To come and have their says as well. But it's just an eye opener. Someone said we don't negotiate with terrorists. Sheikh had a zero condition, so no apologies. Hello. Oh man. Someone said Vanessa's not the issue here. I hear that. But Nick and Vanessa wanted to defend, did so much, and Nick also too, in some type of way, also missed the mark too, because that's not like when he talked about obviously the vet thing. I mean, it wasn't necessarily, it couldn't be a right wrong, but the whole vet thing, I was like, bro, chill, like chill. The vet thing, that's why you treat vets are not human beings. I was like, bro, I need you not to get to this is, I don't need you to get to that point, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, bro, don't go down that lane, Nick. Okay, all right, don't go, you're going down a very dangerous lane, Nick. You know what I'm saying? Fix up. Don't let your emotions catch you off guard on here, bro, and start insulting him. Just combat what he said. That's all you need to do. Do you know what I'm saying? Just combat what you said to do. Do you know what I mean? You know, uh, it's problematic in that sense, I think. But like I said, Shane, I honestly understand. I get the vibe to shake. I get why she went at shake and everything like that. I just wanted her to come a different way. And Shane got off lightly, like you guys have said. Shane got off lightly. Do you know why he got off lightly? Because all of this. Oh my god, it's so hard to watch. All of that nonsense he was doing, bruv. Yeah, me, I would have still grilled you. I would have still grilled you because I don't care. There's questions we need to ask. You know what I'm saying? There's questions we need to ask. The fact that Shayna came back the last day and you said you would consider it, they'll be nice, man. They'll be nice. They'll be nice to him. Yeah. It was, yeah, it needed more, man. Do you know what I mean? Anyway, let me get someone on, and we'll start the review. You get me? See what?
Hey,
Telling me, baby.
I was just listening to you. This is
Uh-uh.
very interesting perspectives you have about
Uh,
some.
talk to me. Talk to me. What you saying? What did you glean? What was you say? What was you thinking?
I would say overall the reunion, just about the reunion in general.
Okay, yeah, flow.
I mean, I hated to say it, but I really also agreed that like although Shake was annoying and bumping in like where he didn't really need to, his honesty was kind of needed on the reunion because they were really tiptoeing. I believe they all made a pact that they were not going to say anything. Like they weren't going to share the real tea, and you could tell that he was like the one running rogue on the pact that they made because they were all like eerily silent, and I feel like it made the reunion like really boring. You know what I'm saying? Like the reunion, I was like falling asleep. I also watched it late, but I was like falling asleep towards the end because I'm like, this reunion is giving absolutely nothing. I also agree that I believe Vanessa had a point and then she kind of went rogue, but I personally enjoyed her because she was very, very honest and direct, which we don't see with hosts
That's
that are
true.
kind of like tiptoe.
I agree with
Definitely kind of went rogue. And I like how Nick was like, I'm gonna let my girl have it.
that.
He dug this hole, I'm gonna let her get out of it.
Yeah, he did say, "I'm not joining you in this one," but you go on, girl.
It's his second marriage, so he knows. He done made mistakes before. He's like, look,
Don't say
I know how to
nothing.
be quiet.
Yep.
Have you noticed the men that are ready for marriage? Side note, that's not a side note. They know how to
Yeah.
be quiet.
Yeah.
The young bucks are still doing the Elijah Wan. Got to talk about everything. No, no, no. When you're married, you need to learn how to zip it.
Yeah.
So he definitely learned that. But yeah, I mean, when we talk about each couple, but I say overall, they completely like miss major points. Like I feel like there's more to talk about what they didn't talk about than what they actually talked about.
Yeah.
Like, why did no one talk about Nick being messy as hell?
That's
He
true.
started that entire pot. Sorry, that
That's right.
entire pot with Jared and Mallory
I'm
and
Mary.
everything.
Yeah.
Nobody talked about how messy he was by being a pot stirrer. They completely like glossed over Danielle and Nick, which was fine because I literally bypassed them the
Trust me.
entire time. What else did they not talk about? I feel like they didn't give Shayna a lot of smoke at all. She kind of did what she want. Deepti didn't
Yeah.
talk at all. She was just like handle my lightweight.
Mm.
Um, yeah, I feel like they didn't talk about a lot of stuff. I'm not
Mm.
sure if they needed a second hour or they just need to like get to the meat and potatoes. They let people like gloss over stuff. Oh, and then they also glossed over Shane's toxicity the day before the wedding.
You ain't
Like
saying no lies.
I don't get
Mm-hmm.
it. We didn't need
It
that
was,
reunion for them to do what they did. We didn't need it. We got nothing from it.
we didn't need it. It was a waste of tape. It was a waste of tape. It just left us with more questions in terms of what we need to address. Everyone did their best PR. I admit my wrongs, everything like that. You know what I mean? What I wanted to I do I'm less concerned about apologies. I want to know why. See, like I'm not my thing is I don't care about apologies. I care about why. No one's explained why what they did. I don't care about apologies because everyone can drop an apology, but why did you do what you did? Why did you say the
Right.
ring? Say why did Shayna? Why did you go after Shane? And then when she did say the why, now we know why they said just say an apology. Because girl, when you said your why, I had to go through the process. That's nonsense. Because you could have told him this before you accepted the ring. And then obviously then she said about um what did she say about the reason why she took the ring from him? She felt like she was manipulated. And I said,
I think she was more manipulated by the process than him. And I
mm,
think I think Shake wasn't lying. Hey Corey, Shake wasn't lying when he said that some people did things to stay on the show. I feel
mm,
like there is pressure in the pods. I didn't think she was 100% lying about having like pressure. I think there was pressure to stay on the show. I think it wasn't necessarily Kyle though. You know what I'm saying? Is that his name?
Kyle, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't think. I mean, he like we need to talk about him too because he's a delusional mess.
Listen, and he's a little manipulator too, you know.
He's not a full victim. He's a delusional mess.
He
Like this
is.
girl completely like showed her hesitation. She didn't pull a Jessica. She tried to be a Jessica, but she was not a full Jessica. Like she definitely showed her hesitation. She said multiple times, like, this is not gonna work. This is not it. This is not gonna work. And he was just like, well, make it work. Okay. So you're not a victim, Kyle. But I do think that the show and the pods is a lot of pressure to make the engagement happen. And she gave into that. I don't feel like she gave into Kyle's manipulation. You know what I mean?
I
You know
hear
she
that.
said no to that man.
I
Because
hear
she
that.
ended up saying no quickly after that, you know?
You ain't telling no lie. You ain't telling no lie. Black, welcome to the conversation. Bro, what's your thought? Just overall thoughts on the overall show. What was your thoughts, man?
Yeah, there's a lot to unpack with this show. I'm excited to be a part of it because I'm pretty sure some opinions that I have are going to be welcome. Some opinions may not, but this has got to be a real conversation to happen throughout this show. Um, I think it's a lot of things that happen throughout the show. I think we go couple by couple. I think I can be able to give my analysis a little bit deeper that way, but it's just a lot to go through. So I think doing it the normal setup as you have, we're gonna knock this out. So let's get it.
I like that. I like that. I like that. Okay. Okay, let's get the couple things going then, cause there's quite a few we need to get through, baby. All right,
Corey,
cool. What's
Corey, can I talk louder than a whisper today?
So what?
Can I talk louder than a whisper today?
Yeah, go for
Oh.
it.
not see where coming for you, bro.
You know,
No, that's
I've been waiting to see him to ask him that.
Oh my gosh. Okay, let's get it going then. Let's get it going. We'll go with Daniel and Nick. We'll get them out of the way quick. All right. You can talk about them. We'll talk about them from the overall season. So the overall season plus the reunion, what your thoughts were in terms of their relationship, etc., etc. What your overall thoughts were. So we'll start that way. All right. D-Way, what was your thoughts on Danielle and Nick overall, the overall season? What were your kind of thoughts around them?
Man, when I saw this TikTok and they said that she was a Taurus, and that was kind of all I needed to know about their entire situation. Shout out to all my Tauruses. One of my best friends is a Taurus, but they are like hopeless romantics to a fault. Like if you see a red flag, you're like walking right past it because you have this like storybook vision of love and you sticking to it and you ain't getting off of it. And honestly, Danielle and Nick literally like they both subscribe to this like fairy tale thing. And it doesn't matter that they weren't working, they were going to make it work. I was trying to see, I wanted them to talk about it more if the actual process was making it more toxic for them. Because you know sometimes like things can be more toxic because they have the cameras. And they did say that things were better, you know, once the cameras went away. And Danielle said that she got a really bad edit, which I believe because I could tell that Shane was off his rocker and they purposely stayed away from him and they showed Danielle looking crazy, which kind of shows that they were picking and choosing who they wanted to show in which way. So I believe that maybe she wasn't as bad as it looked, but I do believe that she definitely has issues. You can't fake the issues. Like the issues were there, but I do think they highlighted her issues. So overall, I don't see it for this couple because I believe they're sticking to it to stick to it, not because it worked. I believe they're both afraid of being alone. They both made up their mind that they want to be together and it doesn't matter how bad it gets. Um and the way that she was leaning into him like he was somebody that was going to escape. She was looking like she was trying to hold on to him for dear life. And I'm just like, girl, I mean, I don't know. They just seem like a very unhealthy couple. And whatever they said on that reunion, I don't believe it.
I mean, they are getting counseling as well, didn't they? They said they're getting counseling.
Yeah, but I think they need individual counseling because I see a lot of times people talking about they get couples counseling when you don't need couples counseling first. You need individual
That's
counseling.
true.
Like
That's true.
Nick, I can tell he needs individual counseling. He's hiding stuff. There's a lot going on with him.
That's true.
That we're not seeing. And Danielle gets, the bad rap, but I think she equally as much as Nick needs counseling, because Nick is attracted to the crazy, wants the crazy. Danielle is, wants what Nick is giving. And so yeah, I think they need individual counseling before they go try to get counseling together. So I don't know if that's really gonna work, but I do appreciate that they're trying. I don't see it for them though.
I hear that 100%. I hear that. Black, what's your thoughts on Danielle and Nick this season, man? Overall season, what was your thoughts?
Yeah, this couple, I just don't see it for them, and it really hit me back when Danielle and Nick, when they were on the honeymoon, and when Nick came back, and he was happy, he was excited, whatever the case is, and she hit him. Well, hey, I saw you over there having fun without me, pretty much. And that caused a problem. And from there on down, it just seemed like her insecurities is really getting into the way of her happiness. And I do agree. I think counseling is needed. I'm not a professional, but I'll say that I can look at her and tell that, okay, some help can be needed. I mean, it can be used right there. This relationship, I think, is going to be more so controlled by her. He's not going to be wearing the pants in this relationship. I definitely don't see that happening, because he's going to fall to every need. Anything she wants to do, she's going to do it. The partying, the hopping on tables and doing air guitar and stuff like that, that wasn't his personality. She brought that in. She brought that into his life, which I'm not saying your partner can't bring something to your life to make it more fun, but I'm just saying that from what I can tell, the way that he doesn't really stand up for himself or stand up for, his logic or whatever it is, I can just tell that this relationship will not last, in my personal opinion. Just simply because of that, the arguments and stuff. He had more than one reason to walk away from this relationship. So I don't know where he got the energy, the power, the source. I don't know where he sourced to get the energy to say I will or I do when they got married. So I was really shocked by that. But no, I don't think it's going to last. I think enough is going to be enough eventually. May go a couple of years and maybe some good years in between that. But I just can't see forever with this couple. So no. I'm not rooting for that. Well, I'm not rooting for them. I'm gonna say that I just don't see this happening.
Yeah, I definitely hear that. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot that's going on with Nick and Danielle. I think, we saw the arguments and the arguments are not arguments. Arguments are, again, similar to how Ayana and Jarrett's situation too, where there is insecurity that's deeply rooted for an individual person. And maybe I'm a bit biased here because I've dealt with someone who had those deep line insecurities before, and as much as I thought I could handle it, once you're healthy, you can only handle that for a short amount of time before you realize you snap. You know what I mean? And you don't want to get to that space in a relationship. I think right now, because already we saw in some of the arguments that we saw on the camera, and yeah, I think they were doing her dirty in terms of the amount of things they showed of her compared to Shane. I'm sure he had more moments, but with what we saw with Danielle and him, the arguments came out of nowhere. Now, I need you to understand something. If you can argue out, they argued after having tasting cake. Like, bruh, like you need to deep that, fam. You know what I'm saying? They argued after that, like they were arguing out of nowhere, and it's because the insecurities were so deep that any little thing that triggers her takes her off course. Now, what you're asking Nick to do, okay, and whether he's great or not, I don't know. Either way, what you're asking Nick to do, or any person, man or woman, to do is now learn how to be a shock absorber. What? You are gonna die an early death trying to absorb all the shocks you're getting. There's only so much shocks you can take from someone in a relationship. So I think I really do think this. I mean, I think you're right, Seaway and Black, but Seaway said it specifically. We don't need couple counseling, and it shouldn't be. Well, I mean, we need couple counseling. That's great as well. But what needs to be imperative is solo therapy counseling. Yeah, to be now dealing with the insecurities. We call that CBT. You know what I mean? They need that kind of therapy because what you're dealing with is a lot. Just to be able to give this relationship the best chance possible, you need to have CBT, and it needs to be effective. Otherwise, this relationship is going to go down the drain very, very quickly. You know, I know they're a year into it now and they're into their marriage, you know, but the first 2 years usually is like a honeymoon period anyway. You usually have a lot of strength to carry yourself through these things. How long before you get tired? Right? How long before you get to that? When we get to the plateau and we are no longer affected by the beauty, we're no longer affected by the sex, what happens then? You know what I mean? That won't be able to carry over anymore. So yeah, we'll have to look into that as well. Any more thoughts on Danielle and Nick as well and their relationship? No, I think he covered them quite easily. All right, cool. All right. So they were done. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about let's talk a little bit about Shane and Natalie. Yeah, Shane and Natalie. Let's talk about the actual Shane and Natalie relationship first and foremost, and then we'll deal with Shane and everything else. Specifically, your thoughts on Shane and Natalie this whole entire season, first and foremost, and then we'll talk about the reunion as well after if you want. But yeah, Shane and Natalie, what's your particular thoughts? Black, I'll let you go first this time.
Yeah, I think it was fine. It was fine up until the point where she actually she actually saw what's his name? Anthony. What's his name? Like, I mean, I'm bad with these names, man.
That's right.
Yeah, when she actually saw him, because she wasn't attracted to him. Yeah, she wasn't. She wasn't. Oh, you were on Shane and Natalie. I'm sorry. Okay, so we're on Shane and Natalie. So my about you guys, a long day.
That's right, bro.
So with Shane and Natalie, I think that, you know, like again with this, everything was fine until I realized that Natalie was moving kind of funny. And the funny movement that I saw from her, like in the pods, everything was cool. You know, she really had heartfelt feelings for Shane. When they came out, you know, Shane to me seems like he had a lot of insecurities as well. And from Shane, it was more like those words of affirmation. Like, that's my love language too. I love words of affirmation, but he needed it so much. He needed a lot of that. He was like, tell me I'm cute. Tell me I'm this, tell me that. And what happened was Natalie used that in a joking way. And you can't do that with someone's love language, because that's something that you hold near and dear to you. Even if you don't express it all the time, you can't joke around like that. If this words of affirmation means the last thing I need for you to do is insult me. But Shane was just really, really needy when it came to telling him how good he looks. He's, you know, handsome. He like his body, you like his smile. He needed that constantly. And I'm trying to understand, why is that a need for him? And that's what I couldn't really understand. But Natalie, I agree with her that Shane is the complete opposite of her. And maybe that's what she was going for. But she knew that this particular type of opposite was not going to benefit her in this relationship. The fact that she was hiding Shane from her parents, like her parents didn't even know she was on the show. They didn't know anything. So she blindsided them with a whole bunch of information. And Shane didn't know that she didn't tell him. So to me, it was like she was unsure from that joint right there. From that jump, I knew that she was unsure. And when they introduced him to the parents, it seemed like Shane's behavior was a little bit different. He was more even keeled. I didn't really see, you know, him, you know, hyper Shane. And to me, I think that that's something he needs to kind of tap into a little bit more. That cool, calm, collected type of Shane, because that hyper Shane, it can be a lot for anyone to take in. And I think that's what happened. It was a lot for Natalie to take in. And when it boils down to what happened on the wedding or the night before the wedding, when Shane said whatever he said to his wife or his future wife the night before the wedding, talking about, I hate you, those are some strong words, very strong words. And I'll say this about Shane's apology and everybody else's apology. It was weak. Everyone's apology was weak, because as a man, we have control over our words. We have control over our actions. I'll be honest with you. I've been in relationships with women who have been abused by men in their previous lives. And then in one instance, I had someone who tried to make me hit her. Like, she hit me like 10 times on my arm. Blah. So what I'm saying to say is this, is that as a man, I know I couldn't go there. So what I'm saying is that there's levels that we know we can't take it to, but him saying that he hated her, he really did mean that. He had to mean that, because you don't slip up in that way. Just like if I was an abusive man, it would have come out then in my situation. you know. So your true personality comes out when you reach that certain limit. Everybody has that certain limit that you go to. So with Shane, I just felt like he really meant what he said. I think he was scared. He knew he had to say something that really was going to hit home, go below the belt, and he did exactly that. He may not have understood the impact of his words at that time, but to me, I think Shane was dead wrong for saying what he said. You don't say that to any woman who you say you love, just like you don't put your hands on anybody that you say you love. So to me, I think that this is one of those situations where we have to understand that Shane seems a little bit unhinged. I'm got to be honest with you. From my viewpoint, he seems to be unhinged. So that alone makes him not ready to get married or to marry Natalie. His spending habits on food did not coincide with hers. So I think it's a lot that was there that was proof. I think it was more than just that conversation the night before. That I hate you speech. I think that Natalie had way more in that bag that she could have pulled from than just that. But because it was most recent and it was really hot at the time, she could use that and be enough. But with Shane and Natalie, I think they both saw that it was what it was. And at the end of the day, I think that Shayna actually has some impact in that relationship as well. The conversation she had with Natalie, the conversation she had with Shane, I think that had a lot to do with. I think they didn't show that part of it, but it had a lot more to do with the breakdown of their relationship than what we saw. But yeah, just my 2 cents on Shane and Natalie.
Man, I hear you on that, 100%, bro. The hate thing, mad. Seaway. I'll talk about it after. Go for it.
No, and I think Shayna is still playing a role, or was recently playing a role in their relationship. I think Shayna's in the background doing stuff, and I can tell by, again, they were being very evasive on the reunion, right, about what Shayna and what type of, because Shayna was telling her herself, I forgot what it was, but she was like, she said something, and then the host was like, oh, we didn't ask you that. Then she started like backpedaling, and I'm like, Shayna, there's stuff going on with y'all that you're not saying, that no one is saying, that Natalie doesn't want to air out. But it's like, again, what was the point of this reunion? Because that's when the tea is supposed to come out. And if it's not going to come out, then why did you waste our time? I don't understand. So not to reiterate some stuff that you said, but I just feel like this is, again, a couple, one is desperate and one is just kind of unhinged. Natalie showed that she was desperate from the point that when he did that apology, for flipping the script and gaslighting Natalie in the pods, when he called her Shayna and he flipped it on her, that should have been the moment where she was done with him, because that was very unhinged behavior. And I'm pretty sure that the producers protected him, and I'm sure he was exhibiting unhinged behavior in the background that entire time. I agree, it was not the I hate you comment was not the last. May have been the last straw, but it was not the only straw. There was a lot of stuff going on in the background. Natalie looked completely broken on that reunion. Her and Shane looked like they done put each other through emotional abuse. They just look like they've been through it. And I'm just like, and then when Nick was like, oh, we're rooting for you, I'm like, speak for yourself. We're not rooting for them. They are not good for each other. They're toxic for each other. Shane is toxic by himself, and Natalie is toxic because she's being so desperate. There's nothing about this man that screamed husband material at all. She shouldn't even been considering it the way she was considering it, I feel bad for Natalie. She needs to love herself more. And I think Shane has the ability to be a decent person, but he needs help. There's something off about him, and I'm not talking about off in what he can control. There's something definitely going on, and that's going to affect others if it's not checked. And the fact that Natalie just proceeded on after seeing that there was something clearly off shows that that's a level of desperation that a different type of man will really take advantage of. Can't be that desperate for love. So
I'm with you on that, C-Wade. Absolutely hear you on that 100%. I think during their whole relationship, I think that I hate you, like you guys have said, and also eloquently alluded to, is, first and foremost, I don't recall a moment I've ever said I hate you to somebody. Maybe as a little kid, when you're a little kid and your parents punish you, oh, I hate you so much, and then you calm down and realize you got dinner later on, so you better relax. But it's like, as a fully grown adult, for me to articulate I hate you, even when my even when one of my girlfriends cheated on me, I never use the word I hate you, because I hate you is a deep seated emotion. To hate someone is a very deep seated thing. So for someone to say I hate you, right? To hear a man say I hate you, I've heard this a few times. I've heard some guys say this, and often it's because they don't have a good hold on their emotional. They don't hold very good emotional regulation. That I hate you comes out because they don't know how to articulate emotions very well, and they don't know how to converse very well, right? But I hate you before the wedding, I'd have called it off too. I'd have called it off too. Just on that alone, because that tells me, first, you can't regulate yourself very well, and number two, if you can get to the point you hate me and we're just before the wedding day, I better save myself the trouble. It will be painful, but I better save myself the trouble. You know what I mean? And so the fact that Shane has had a history of those things being done, because, like he said, the pod situation, that was mad. We saw him gaslight her. That was very true. It was. We saw him flip it around onto her. That was very true. We saw the fact that, instead of just apologizing in that moment, and correcting himself, no, he wanted to make her at fault. And that for me was dangerous enough as it was. I agree with you as well, Black, and see where in the fact that someone said I told my parents. I didn't tell my parents. I said it in my room. Don't worry. I said I hated you in my room. I didn't say that out loud to them. But the when he was dealing with Natalie, for me, watching them two together, the fact that he had Shayna so close was also problematic as well. These are just red flags that, like I said, Seaway, desperation is ugly, man. But desperation, to the hungry man, everything bitter tastes sweet. Like, do you know what I mean? The relationship will look sweeter than it actually is just because you're so hungry and desperate. And Natalie kind of allowed herself to fall into the trap of this situation. You know what I mean? I know she couldn't see everything we saw, but the interactions that you had with them, with Shane, should have been enough. But and of course, she did call it off eventually. So we thank God she called it off before actually getting married. So she did have some sense, which means she had reservations before this. Like, she had reservations before this. You know what I mean? Go for it, Seaway.
And I think that's why these shows, and let's just take it to something we can all relate to, dating apps can be really dangerous place to meet people, because you're meeting people that are taking a risk. Like, for regular people, dating apps could be a risk. For other people, ready to love or love is blind could be a huge risk. So there's already going to be some level, I wouldn't say desperation, but maybe some persistency that you're going to really want. You're showing that this is really important to you, that you're stepping outside of you're stepping out on a limb to really try to find love and try to find a relationship. And I feel like in a perfect world, you find two whole people like Lauren and Cam appear to be, who both wanted love, but they weren't coming broken. But in many sense, you have a lot of people on either side. Usually it's women that get the brunt of this, but on either side, like Natalie and Shane, who want love so bad. And this is just the breeding ground for this type of behavior, Same thing that you could find on dating apps. Could regular people who just having trouble trying to find people, meet and find love on a dating app? Sure, it happens all the time. But then there's a lot of times where you find men that prey on women who really want love on dating apps. And sometimes you might find it vice versa. It's not really as common. But I think that's the dangerous game that you play when you take this risk. Because a lot of times you're going to find really broken people. And I think Natalie and Shane, even though Natalie appears put together, there's something very broken about her, that she would see Shane's desperation and erratic behavior and just completely just unhinged behavior, and she's like, I'm gonna keep going with that. It's something that you have to be aware of. it's quite dangerous. So
And
Yeah.
go for it, Black. Yeah, I was gonna say in additions, go for it.
Something that really kind of stuck out to me too was when Vanessa said, "Okay, you guys, let's talk about Shane and Shayna." No. Shane, I don't want to talk about that. I don't want to talk about that. Why? Like, what took place between you and Shayna that you just don't want to even speak on that at all? Now, Shayna to me is a better liar than Shane is. She sat down and lied with a straight face. Oh, it's purely just friends. It's nothing. It's nothing. If that's what you guys are thinking. Who said anything about that? You bringing it to us. We didn't ask you that. So, okay. Now I know what it's about. And you said that first so Shane can calm down. But as soon as she said that, the camera cut over to Shane, and Shane was like, really? You going to sit there and lie? So I think something happened between them. And the thing about with Shane and Natalie, when Shane was to be held accountable for what he said, he deflected it back onto Natalie. Hey, you don't sit there and act like you didn't have any part in it. Don't sit there and act like, you don't know why I reacted the way I reacted. Well, let's talk about what was said. Yeah, I said some things, and then she finally apologized. He said, I need an apology from you too. Okay. Did she say something as hurtful as what you said to her? See, this is the thing. I think mutual apologies are cool if there's really, if mutual apologies is really needed. But if you said something way more hateful than someone else, that's fine. I should be the one to apologize. I'm not even looking for you to apologize to me. If you do it, cool. I got it. But I got to take accountability for what I said, for what I did to hurt you. So the whole tit for tat, that's played. That's very childish to me. So it's just something that I thought about, while you guys were talking that I missed when it came to Shane, and Natalie. So I'm done with them.
I'm with you on that, bro. Definitely hear you on that. On the reunion as well, I think with Shane and Natalie, I think yeah, that's right. You mentioned a good point actually about the apology aspect, because he apologized and then was wanting to equate or equivocate the situation with. So I'm not the only one that said anything, bro. You're the one that was saying the madness, bro. And on the show, we saw more madness from you. You know what I mean? It's like no one else. I think this comment kind of sums it up by KB. She said, Shane also never apologizes, equivocates to make sure that someone else has also a finger pointed at them, kind of like equivocating Vanessa to Shake. Yes. So, it's like, it's the, he wants always for the apology to match, you know what I mean? We both did wrong. He won't take solo. It's like we both did wrong, And actually, that happened pretty much during the season too. So it's like unfortunate with Shane. Sorry. We saw with Shane. That's why I said I wasn't impressed by these apologies. I'm not impressed when you apologize and say I'm gonna be a man about it and I'm apologize. No, explain why you did what you did. Then I'm impressed. You know what I'm saying? Give me a breakdown of why you did what you did. Then I can get impressed. You apologize. Everybody can apologize. Little kids know how to apologize. Give me a breakdown of why you did what you did. Then I can really rock with you. I'm like, all right, cool. The person's learned from that because you've explained it away and you said, listen, I knew that was wrong. Da, da, da. But you ain't explaining what you did wrong. You just kind of saying, I'm sorry. I throw my hands up. I shouldn't have done it. Let's get on with everything now. And that's kind of energy I get from Shane. Go for it, Black. Oh shit.
My bad. That was my mistake, but I will just add to what you said. The whole fact of I could have handled things a little bit differently. Yeah, do it right the first time. If you know you could have handled it differently, what stopped you from handling it differently? This is the thing. As men, we have to be very careful not to tap into our emotions when it comes to these arguments and disagreements, because when we do that, that's when we get into that point where we do say something that's out of pocket. We do say something that's hurtful. Same thing any way around, but I know especially with men, because we're supposed to be stronger than that. Society wants us to be stronger than that. We're raised to be stronger than that. Most of us anyway, we're raised to be stronger than that. So when it comes to disagreements, arguments, or when we do have to make sure that we're in a better place. And we all slip up sometimes. I do it too. You know what I'm saying? I slip up sometimes and I make this out of pocket, but I make sure it's not something I just can't come back from. And that's something that we do a lot of times. So yeah.
I'm with you, bro. 100% with you, bro. And I think again, you made a good point about us as men as well. This is such an important skill to kind of get to, where don't allow yourself to get too emotional in these situations because you're liable to say something that can't be taken back. You know what I mean? And I think I said this last time. I said people that are unintelligible with their words tend to act by action, and that is problematic because what that tends to do is lead you down the roads of either violence, cheating, moving mad, saying something just absolutely crazy, compared to what you really were trying to say, which is what I was saying about the Vanessa situation with Shake. It's the exact same thing. If you allow your emotions to rule you, you will end up in a place that you just didn't want to be in. And now you're sitting on the couch, dipping your head down, twisting your head up and round, saying, you know what, I take accountability. And it's like, okay, so how are we taking there are buzzwords that I'm starting to realize from people now on interviews, TV, buzzwords. I go to therapy. I'm doing the work. Accountability, right? They're words that are being used very easily and loosely because it stops people from questioning you. Okay, so you're doing the work. Okay, what's the work saying? How is it going? Okay, what have you learned? Right? I need to now press a deeper question because you're just saying to me, "Oh, I've done the work," or "I apologize," or "You know what? I take accountability." That's why I said that I had a problem with Jarrett's apology. It wasn't that I had. It's not that. It wasn't the fact that Jarrett didn't apologize. Listen, I get the apology, but we are now grown. We're not 6 years old anymore in the playground where we tell the little two boys and girls, or when they fought each other, say sorry. No, no, no. We grown ass adults. You better explain what happened. Why? You know what I'm saying? You saying you take accountability. Accountability where and for what? You know what I mean? So that we know exactly that you. So we know exactly that you actually have understood what's happening. Because a sorry sometimes is a quick buck to get out of there quickly. Yes, T-Way, jump in.
No, I mean, I agree. I think what you're hitting on, even if maybe intentionally or unintentionally, is this is PR. These people on this show, this is why this season is not as good as last season. It's because last season it was organic. No one knew how big the show was going to be, how small the show was going to be. This show was, the whole reunion was PR. Shayna was PR from the end of the day. She literally was like, I'm gonna go on, take accountability, say I was wrong, whatever, so I don't end up like Jessica. Shane, PR. Everyone, PR. Shane had all his PR. Jared, PR answers. Everyone was like, because there's a bag at the end of the line for this. Like, even unlike Married at First Sight, Netflix, you see where Jared and Ayanna, they're on E! News, and they're on darn near about to be on probably Good Morning America next. Okay, like, if you really do it right with this show, you're gonna get your 5 minutes, maybe 10 minutes, could be 15 if you do it right. And if you really are likable, then you'll be like Lauren and Cam. If you're kind of boring, you're gonna be like the other couple that I forget their name. Okay. So yeah, there's a reason why they're doing this. They know they have to come up with the best PR answer so they can flip this, get their 500 followers, make it even more, and then get to that bag.
You're absolutely right, Seaway. Yeah, I forgot about that. And even when myself, when I was trying to let's see how I can get interviews. Everyone's got a PR. Everyone's got an agent. Do you know what I mean? I'm not saying that you can't. I mean, of course, you're on TV, but it's like everybody wants to take advantage of the situation. I get it. You're on TV, you want to take advantage of it. You don't know where it can lead you to. There's doors and everything. My thing is, there's a way to be authentic, without self-destructing. You know what I mean? We also understand that there's a way to communicate what's gone on without blowing stuff to smithereens, right? And again, it just again. For me, it's about. Oh, sorry, apologies, guys. For me, again, it's about that being truthful about what's happened. I mean, not every single detail. No one's going to ask for every single detail, but it's about being truthful about what's happened here. Because now we've watched a reunion. I've wasted my time. Do you know what I mean? I've wasted my time. You didn't need to show me a reunion. You know what I'm saying? Because there was nothing that was different. Okay, Shake came out on a mad thing. In fact, Shake saved the reunion. He's now a hero because the thing was dead. Like, I needed Shake to do more. I was even rooting for Shake. Like 5 minutes into it, when he came out and said, "Look, everyone here is fake. I was like, tell them, Vam, because everybody's given telegraphed answers about their situation. You know what I mean? And so, yes, the Shane and Natalie situation, I wish they could have delved a little bit deeper. And I wish they could have gone a bit further so we can understand what actually went on between the two of you. You know what I'm saying? Like, you you chose a TV show to try and find love. So this is part of the consequences. You release some of the information we can understand. So yeah, you know, I I definitely hear you on that. Seaway as well. Definitely hear on that. Any thoughts? And then okay, so let's talk. Since we're on Shane, we'll talk about the Shane and Shayna situation during the course of the show. What your thoughts were on them two? Do you think they were better suited? Do you think they should have been dating? I mean, I'm still confused by Shayna saying she's a Christian and then wanting Shane over Kyle as a reason as to why she doesn't want Kyle. I'm mad confused because I don't, even up till now, he has not said he's a Christian on the reunion. So I'm so confused as to why that's an excuse as to why you want Shane over Kyle or why you wanted Shane over Kyle. And another 2 point is this. At what point did Shayna and Shane become friends? Because surely this will be a conflict of interest in terms of the fact that if he was still trying to make things work with Natalie, Shayna in the back of his head being a friend is going to be a problem. I'm just saying. Go for it, Seaway.
They were not friends. Shayna was doing that thing that insecure women do, who are trying to, not be girls and be snakes, and they call the dude that they like their friend. That's literally all that was. She said that she was his friend at the cookout before she even knew him to be his friend, when she was talking crazy about Natalie and basically saying that their relationship was fake. That's when she said that they were friends, and I think she may have just met him. So the friend thing is complete BS. And all I say about them two is the only thing that they have in common is that they're both white. And it's been proven. If you go on Shayna's Instagram, who she follows, she's clearly a Trump supporting Republican who probably we need to figure out where she was at on January 6th. So that's literally the only thing that she has in common with Shane, is that she's white. I don't think they're any better suited. The Christian thing, she was a poor representation of Christian and Christianity, to be honest. She made a joke of it. And I hate when people do that. Like, if you're going to put on your back that you're a Christian, can you please act like it? Because people already question religion in 2022. Our churches are dying. The last thing we need is Shayna getting on the TV talking about she's a Christian, and then the next scene we flash to her telling Shane what she's wearing every 5 seconds. So it was literally a joke. Yeah. What do you think, Corey?
Yeah, I'm right there with you, man. It's a big joke because Shayna, the whole religion thing, like, I get it. It is, in this situation, it's better for it not to be said than for it to be said like Kyle said it. So it's one thing to know what you know, and then another thing to not know anything. So of the two, I see why she would want to pick Shane, and I get it. But the way she went about doing it is like, you want to tell him your feelings and everything at the last minute, after you found out about the religion thing. But to be honest with you, when it comes to those two, it was less about religion and more about the fact that she wasn't attracted to him. That's what it really boiled down to. Because it was something she was willing to do.
Not attracted to Kyle.
Not attracted to Kyle. Yeah, it wasn't really about the it was about the religion, but she made it about the religion more so because she wasn't attracted to him. Because she shouldn't have said yes if it was so heavy on her mind. Which if she had said no, I would have respected that. But it's just my thought on that. But Shane and Shayna definitely have some stuff going on. They don't want to be put out, open for everybody. I agree with you about what happened at the beach. She just wanted to continue the show. She liked Shane. She didn't really know much about Shane and stuff, what happened in the pods. But when she looked at him, she said, okay, he looks good enough for me to continue. But if Shane was not an attractive guy, then she would have wanted to talk to Shane either, whether it's religion or not. It more so had to do with looks to me. That's my 2 cents on it.
And you see, I mean, we're not on Shayna and Kyle, but I mean, but there's nothing. There's not a lot more to say about Shane and Shayna because Natalie
Right.
decided that she wanted to hold things tight for appearance sake. So we're never gonna really get the tea on what exactly happened because Natalie doesn't want to, spill the beans because everyone again is with the PR stunts. But I think another point, the reason why Shayna and Kyle didn't work out, you saw the way they treated Kyle. It's also Kyle's race as well. It's not just Natalie's race, it's Kyle's race. In the way that they treated Kyle when she brought him to her Trump supporting house, they looked at him like, why are you even in my home?
Yeah. Yeah.
And people don't know Chicago people can be like this because I mean, I'm from Chicago. We are very segregated.
Mm.
We got some
Mm.
insurrectionists too.
Wow.
Depending on what side you on the wrong side, depending on the people, we definitely got some insurrectionists.
Yeah. The whole interaction with him and the family, they looked like they weren't ready to approve anything. Nothing he could have
No, they were
said.
like, "Who is
Why are
this
you here?
non-Caucasian man you done brought in this house?" They were not
Exactly.
going for it at all.
Hmm. And I think possibly Shayna knew that as well.
She
She
knew
knew her
that.
family won't go with that, so she was like, "Hey, I can't even take you home, bro. I'm gonna leave you here at this hotel. You take it easy." She couldn't even do it. Couldn't even do it. So to me, I think that was that, and the fact that she was just not attracted to him. But maybe that was the reason she wasn't attracted to him, was because of the race thing. But yeah, she played this card all the way wrong. But she tried to go in the way she tried to go in for Shane, and when she was trying to tell Natalie, Shane's no good for her. I don't think it's a good relationship. Blah 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 blah. And then the way she tried to flip it by saying that, hey, because one thing I will say, I did like it, the fact that Natalie and Shane had that type of communication where Shayna came to Natalie and Natalie had that communication with Shane. She didn't hold it back. She didn't hide anything from him. And then the conversation that Shane had with Shayna at the beach, Shane went back and told Natalie that too. So they had that open communication. That's something I will say I liked about them. Um, if anything, I would say that, and the fact that she would go that route, and the way Shayna responded when Shane brought it up. Hey, did you call my fiance and say that we were not a good couple? The way she twisted it by saying, "Hey, well, if you guys want to keep my name in your mouth, or I don't understand why I'm a topic. If you guys go home and talk about me, then I don't really know what to tell you about." No, own your stuff. If you said it, then say you said it. Don't try to manipulate the conversation and say, I don't know why I'm a topic of conversation in y'all house, in your bedroom, making it bigger than what it is, making herself bigger than what it is. So to me, I think Shayna she moving crazy, man. Moving crazy out here.
Kodo, why when in Rome said is Cal Dominican? No,
Oh,
but
I'm eating sweet corn.
I don't know what it is, but he's definitely Hispanic. I don't know what exactly, but I can tell you a lot of times black people can't tell if people that we be thinking anybody who's light is white. I can tell you a white person knows when they see a white person. White people can even spot Jewish people, so I can promise you they know Kyle is not white. They can spot it real quick. I'm talking about real quick. We may think Kyle is white because we can't tell the difference. I promise you they can. Put him next to Shayna, you can see the difference. Put him next to Shane, you can see the difference. And I bet you they know the difference as well. So
You told no lies there, because the same thing with black people, even Africans. We ourselves know, when we see each other. Oftentimes, we can tell just by the facial features, head shapes, skin tones. We can actually tell who is like from your country or not from your country. Of course, sometimes you get it wrong. Majority of the time, that you can actually pinpoint where someone's coming from, and so you'll realize if you're in tune, you can actually spot these things. So I don't have no doubt, um, that American white American white families can tell somebody is not pure blooded for them in terms of their American white, if they're maybe Latino or Spanish or whatever you want to, sorry, Latino, probably whatever they are. So I definitely agree, because I think
Well, we can clarify because I'm half Cuban. So if anyone knows that
Oh,
Hispanic or Latinx or Latino or Latina is not a race, I know that. I'm
okay. I
saying
don't know.
that
My bad,
he.
guys.
Oh no, no, I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to the comments. I am saying I don't believe he's a white Hispanic. They're I spent a lot of time in Argentina. Everyone there is a white Hispanic. Okay, most of them, to be honest. Kyle, to me, I don't believe would pass as a white Hispanic, in my opinion. So I don't think that Shayna's family believes that he is white. He definitely is Hispanic, but I don't believe that he is viewed as white because they can tell he's not white. A real white Hispanic looks like Ted Cruz. If Ted Cruz went to Shayna's house, they won't know the difference. So, I mean, that's just an example of that. But Kojo, you were talking about earlier about whether this group was how they try to make this group, they look nice. They got rid of all the people in the previews who weren't traditionally beautiful by this society's standards. I agree with you for the most part, but I do believe that Sal and Kyle are not necessarily traditionally handsome for a broad sweeping. Like, I think Sal is decent looking, but I don't think he crosses over, is what I'm saying. And I think that is the issue. They didn't have crossover appeal. Like, Sal may be nice looking to one person, but he doesn't have crossover appeal. Um yeah, so I think that's kind of the issue there.
No, I agree with you. I agree with you on that. Um, I guess that links back to the point about how it's different for men and women, in the sense of, like I said, women will grow in their liking for men, whether they are attracted to them at the beginning or not. They can grow in that. Most men, especially in the Western world, I want to say, I don't know about the other cultures, but I know for the Western society, we are going to struggle. So the females need to have some level of attraction towards men, if you want to call it that, at least, or so, to make that work, because men tend to see, we like, we go, and then we find out whether your intrinsic qualities are important. So I definitely agree with you. The men, I mean, it is very hard to find a show where the men are the attractive beings. I mean, it's very rare. You only get down like someone like Love Island, and even then, you know what I mean, most of the time it doesn't happen like that. You normally get normally attractive women on the show, just because of the way that women and men see attraction. It varies differently there. So I agree with what you're
Standards
saying
are
though.
definitely
Yeah.
lower. I think I agree. The standards for men on these shows um are lower. I know, like on Married at First Sight, they do try to match attraction levels. I've noticed that they do their best to try to match couples' attraction levels. Um, but that doesn't always happen. I'll leave that there.
Hear that? Black, what you saying?
Um, it was back to what you were saying. I have a question for you. Do you feel that there are more attractive women than there are handsome men?
Ooh.
Who are you asking that to? Because I was about to grab
Both of
myself.
you, both of you guys. Do you guys feel there are more attractive women than there are handsome men?
I think women just work harder. I think women work harder on their appearance because that's what we're judged off of.
Mm.
Versus men don't work as hard on their appearance because they're judged on their financial ability, So I think that is the biggest difference. Like, if a woman is not traditionally attractive, she's going to do everything that she can to make herself attractive. And now we're in the land of the BBLs, like, even if you were shaped like a square, a rectangle or whatever, not no more in 2022, you can go fix that. At least in the 90s, I would say it probably was more even, maybe before, because there was less you can do. But now for women, anything that you don't like, you can fix within reason.
Yeah,
You don't know what your kids are going to look like with women in 2022. You can fix everything: body
that's true.
shape, nose, hair. You have no clue. We all know we were growing up. I mean, it was just a more natural, you know, whatever. It's completely different now. So I guess to answer your question, I think there's more attractive women now because women work really hard. And with Instagram, we're comparing ourselves all the time.
Mm.
We have this unrealistic expectation of beauty. Now men think that regular looking regular is bad now, you know, because of Instagram and the constant inundation with fake things. So yeah, I think that's what it is.
I don't know about that one, see
I need I need
You disagree with that? What do you
Okay.
I want to know what you disagree with. I'm really surprised.
The fact that you feel like men gravitate more so towards the women that's on IG.
No, I didn't say that. I didn't say that. I'm saying some men. I don't know. I believe a lot of men still don't like all that IG stuff, but I'm saying like some of our perceptions, whether we realize it or not, men and women are kind of morphed and changed by what's going on Instagram.
Yeah.
I'm not saying you want an IG body, but it's now like if you see, sometimes you may not even realize it. You're seeing a regular body and you're thinking a regular body is different.
IG body.
Yeah, because it's not an IG body. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying you want an IG body.
I know what you mean. I know what you're saying.
Yeah. I think it does have to do with age as well. You know, age range, whatever. Because if you're younger, you're used to seeing these bodies now. If you don't have a BBL body, then you don't have a quote unquote body. But I think if you're older and you've seen regular bodies and you still have that instinct like, wow, she's beautiful, she got a body. Like a man can see a natural body and he knows the difference between a natural body and a BBL body. If you're younger, you may not know the difference between the two. You may have someone that has a natural body and you think that's a BBL, but she just really caked up and caked out. So that may just be something that she has. What I mean by that is that there are men that do think along the lines of what you're saying. I saw that anyway. Thinking along the lines of what you're saying. But yeah, I will hope the majority of the men can look at a woman and say, okay, this IG, yeah, she's cute, hit the like button, but still, I would like this woman, no makeup, just a regular woman without any enhancements and be perfectly fine.
Yeah, I agree that. I think what's happened though, I do agree with Seaway here, and I agree with you, Black, as well, because I want to take into account that as men, me and Black, me and you, Black, you're absolutely right. I think when women actually sit down with men and talk to us about what we actually like, you'll realize it differs from what the media talk about. What the media shows is completely wonky from what we actually like, right? So of course there are going to be sections of men who want BBL. There are going to be sections of men who like, extravagant body types and stuff like that, right? But the majority of us, just normal folk, bro, when we talk as men, I had this conversation yesterday and we were talking about this. It's like, even a lot of us guys don't even like makeup, but you know what it is? Media tells you guys that we like that, so you go and put it on, right? And then we had this conversation, and I can ask you guys, and I can ask Seaway. We were talking about this yesterday. I said, we were talking about this, and someone said, women are no longer competing for men; they're competing amongst themselves. It was like, whoa. He's like, yeah. Yes. I was like, whoa. You know what? I'm deep in what you're saying, because it's like some of this stuff we're not even interested in it, bro. You know what I mean? And like, so when we do say that this is what we like, and I totally understand it because the media again tries to talk for us. Like when we do say what we like, it's like, no, you men don't like that. You like this. It's like, nah, babe. Honestly, I think you're the most finest when you ain't got your makeup on. That's when I find you the most attractive. You don't deep it, but I deep it. I deep it when you know what I'm saying. And so I think one girl was even saying, she's like, I never realized that, but a lot of guys move me when I haven't got my makeup. I said, yeah, because now we can see your fullness, blood. You understand? Right? So there's a lot of conversations, I think, when we have them on the ground, it's so much different when we have them on air. Because in the media, they just portray stuff that, most of us, I do not care about. Do you know what I'm saying? I do not care about BBL body. Me, I'm not even interested. Don't get twisted. I like to look and see body. But my look and gaze is not equivocal to me wanting to have you. You understand?
Exactly.
Go for it, Black.
Exactly. And I think you hit the nail on the head when you said that. Looking at something that's pretty and shiny is just that, looking at something that's pretty and shiny. But the lens of where this is going, I know we're going kind of off topic here, but the lens of where this is going now with social media is ridiculous. You have women who turn their cameras on and immediately turn to the side so you can see their butt. Immediately turn to the side so you see their full frame, and then want to have a biblical scripture or, be the best you can be in the world. Like, that has nothing to do with the picture you're trying to, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm like, you're running out of things to talk about. You're running out of things to say, but you're still going to find a reason to show your body. So to me, I look at that, I say, okay, nice body, but because of how you presented it, I'm not even interested. Not even.
I'm with you, bro. I'm definitely hearing you. I think I said, I think it's one of those conversations that if you have, I always say this about echo chambers, you have to have effective echo chambers. We do actually need echo chambers in a sense to help us sometimes. And I think, like I said, social media is its own echo chamber. Depending on who you follow, who's around you. Like I honestly do not go on my explore page. I actually hate the explore page, right? But it's now mine's a bit more creative now. It's a bit better now because of things that I think. But no matter what, no matter how many times I like my football team in England, how many times I click on likes for those videos and like dancing videos, somehow some girl with some big ass is gonna come on the screen. Somehow the finest babe in the whole of UK or US is now on my screen. And the reason why I don't like going on my explore page, because I think to myself, this is not even actually what we actually want. But they push this onto your mind so that you're consistently bombarded with the same message. Right. And then you become unhappy, you become unsatisfied. If you ain't got this baddest one, now you're not this. If you haven't got this, like, and it's honestly too much. And I realized that, fam, I said, nah, this is not it, fam. Like, this is really not the way that we actually create our mind, especially as men. When I sit down with real men and we talk about what our actual preferences is like, fam, yeah. Some of the preferences I know someone will be against it because, I remember one of us guys, and I'll say it, listen, we're going, maybe people can get triggered, but it is what it is. I mean, one of our preferences we're talking about, even us guys were talking about, right, at one point, and it's not every guy, and was like, bro, I don't even like the wigs no more, brother. I said, I don't like the European style of wig. I don't like it. Like, I don't mind a wig, but why is everything European style wig? I said, I just don't need to see it. I don't want it. I don't like it. You know what I'm saying? Right? But you will get attacked straight away for saying that by, no, but you're all liking those photos. You're all saying that. And I'm like, listen, don't get it twisted. I can appreciate it. But again, this is not the conversation on the ground. It's the conversation in the air where
Mhm,
people have got
mhm.
clout, they got a platform, they got power to say these things, and it gathers around. But when you sit down with us, bro, listen, I told you I like it when the wig comes off and I see them braids. I like it when when I'm when you got your cornrow, that's when I'm feeling you. You know what I'm saying? You don't even realize. But again, because I am not the largest platform. I don't have men around me that have the largest platform. So when we talk, it don't go into the channels of the airs. You know what I'm saying? Unfortunately, the entertainment and media, they have a bigger voice and they start to create what we should like, which is really annoying. Someone said again, publicly versus privately knowledge. It's actually public. The issue is we don't have those people on the public platforms to be able to have a voice enough to say this. And when we do, we're hating. If I
True.
say to you, I like women with no makeup, you're like, that's not the girls that you're going for. Well, if 9 out of 10 women are wearing makeup, how am I supposed to dodge? I'm trying to find the one that ain't got makeup. What do you want me to do? Yeah, but I go for it.
But it's tough. It is tough. But I do think I do agree with you. They do kind of force it down your throat because the same thing happens on my IG. I don't prefer to look at women with BBLs and IG models and stuff like that. But every time I go to my page, it's like that's what's on there. I'm like, yo, these are people I don't know. They're not my friends. How did they get here? I don't go searching for them. So how they get here? So I think it is something they're trying to perpetuate. In social media that men, this is what men go for. No, this is what you want men to go for. You want men to lose interest in a natural beauty, and it's not happening. So you want to push this out. You're trying to tell women that they have to get more. As they come, it's not good enough. They have to add more. They have to add more. So it's a message to women, and it's a message to us. I think it's some underhanded stuff being done when it comes to that too, man. I think it's subliminal messages being sent out there that you being yourself is not enough, which is an absolute lie, if you ask me.
Serious, you want to say something? Go for it.
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot of pressure being up with y'all talking and saying all this stuff up here, but I will say that I don't think women want you guys to want these things. I believe we believe that most men do want these things, and to keep up, we try to keep up with that unattainable standard. And honestly, a lot of men, I'm sorry, don't know what they want, and I'm not even being funny. Y'all say, maybe y'all do, but a lot of men will say, I don't like a woman with makeup. what most men are really saying is they don't like all that caked on what we would call full coverage look. The over contoured other nose. They don't want to see the bat lashes. They don't want to see the face looking like it's completely even and looking fake. They're not saying though that they don't want a little powder, because y'all thinking some people aren't wearing makeup and they really are. What they're doing is they have a little powder, a little blush, so they look alive, but it's not caked on. And y'all thinking, oh, she's fresh faced. Actually, no, she's not. It just looks a natural look. So I think a lot of times what men are really saying is they don't want that unnatural bat-winged look. They don't think that's cute. And I believe y'all when y'all say that. But I think a lot of times you're saying you don't like a woman with makeup. You don't even know what makeup is, when people are wearing makeup and when they're not.
You know what?
I love people that have gone black. I love people that because it's what women normally say when we say we don't like makeup. It's exactly what they say. Go for it, bro.
Wait, I'm not done. But I'm not saying that y'all two particularly don't know. I can't speak for you guys. I'm just saying in general, as a person who grew up with boys who a lot of times people say I think like a guy. I be in y'all head. Y'all don't know. A lot of y'all just really, really don't know. And let me tell you, I remember when Danny Lay, when the baby put Danny Lay out there looking crazy, breastfeeding her child. To me, she looked like a normal person who just had a baby. Her hair was just a little messy because she was in the house. She still looked pretty. She still looked fine. All these dudes on here, oh, she's popped. Oh, that's what she looked like without makeup. Oh, she looks like a regular girl with a white beater and some sweatpants on. And now all of a sudden, all these men talk about she's popped. She ain't cute. I'm like, have y'all forgotten what a regular woman looks like? But then y'all say, oh, I want you hair tied, chilling with no makeup on. Okay, well, the math isn't mathing for some of y'all. And finally, I'll say, if you don't like wigs, it's fine. Just embrace the straight backs, because don't be talking about you don't like wigs, but then you want to tell people how to wear their hair. So, Kojo, I'm not mad at you. You can say you don't like wigs.
I'm not saying you're mad. I'm not saying you're mad, but you did exactly what we're talking about. You completely invalidated what we said, and that's what we're talking about when we talk with women.
How I validate it?
You invalidate by saying, well, then be ready for the. I'm not like I told you. I'm good with it all. Listen, the cornrow, the mashy hair, whatever you want to talk about, I am good with it all. That's why I said it. I said I'm good with it all. I like you when you're in the most natural. And the reason why you're talking about the baby situation, which I'll let you talk back on this actually. So I'll ask again. The baby situation. You know what happens? What happens is this with those type of men, right? Is this. What happens is when you've gone from busted to have the makeup, going from a 5 to a 9, what happens is your attitude changes too. So some of these men are vexed because they're like, how does your attitude change when you're actually a 5 but you're going to a 9 with makeup on and you disrespect man that are 5? That's what they then are now pissed about. So not to do the fact that she busted, it's the fact that your attitude changes oftentimes when you go from a 5 to a 9 because you got makeup on. But we don't talk about that, right? Because it's women doing the women empowerment stuff. But the truth of the matter is your attitude changes when you put some people, not all. Let me make it very clear. Not all.
Be clear.
Make it very clear. So I don't no to come and shoot me now.
That all.
Not all. Not all. Some women have made they make such a jump, right? In terms of, let's say, if you're talking about marketplace for looks, from this to something else when they put makeup on, and their attitude also runs with it too, and how they look at men. Suddenly, I can't deal with a 5 man, but you're a 5. So that's why the men get vexed. Like, hold on a minute. Delay looks like this. I'm not saying that. I don't remember what she looked like when she was natural, to be honest. I didn't see it. But Delay looks like this. And she did what? So that's why we look at it like that way. Do you know what I mean? So are we rating things now? We all rate people. Let's not pretend. This is real life. We all rate people. If you don't rate people, you're gonna end up doing something you shouldn't be doing, and you're gonna be in the wrong lane. But Black, jump in and
as far as the rating thing goes, man, I think like you're right. Everyone rates someone. I've heard women say time and time again that this man in the club came to know what makes him think that I would talk to him, what makes him think that I would give him the time of day just based on how he looks alone. You don't give him a chance to show his personality. You don't give him a chance to say, okay, he's a good guy. You immediately put him to the side. But I will say something about what C-Way was saying is that when it comes to the makeup and the caked on makeup, you're absolutely right. We can tell when it's caked on. I'm not a fan of it because I feel like you're hiding something. I feel like you're one of those artists who can go on there and you just turn your face into a whole different person. And there are women who can do that. So that's scary for a man. But if you're a woman that has on makeup and I say, wow, you look beautiful with no makeup on, and you say, well, I do have on makeup, that's phenomenal to me. Fine, trick me. I'm good with that. Because if I can't tell you have on a wig, if I can't tell you don't have on makeup, if I can't tell you have on fake lashes, fine, trick me. That's exactly what I want to be wrong about those things. But when it goes back, when I'm circling back around to natural beauties, for the longest time, the natural beauty that most majority, I can't say all on this one either, Kojo, but the majority of men love Halle Berry. That's a natural body. She has no enhancements. She's a very nice face. She's never caked on. It's never extra. It's very simple. That's why a lot of men gravitate and say Halle Berry's name, Janet Jackson's name. They don't have those enhancements. Well, I think Janet Jackson got one. But what I'm saying is that these people don't really have those enhancements when all the men kind of fell in love with them. So to your point, there are things that men don't like. There are things that women don't like when it comes to appearance. Some women don't like dreads. Some women don't like, twists, cornrows. I think I heard someone say they don't like cornrows on a grown man. If you're over 35, you shouldn't have cornrows in your hair. That's that woman's thought process. That's how she feels. But everyone has their own separate thing. So we can't lump either one into just one big old category. What I'm saying.
100%. And you know what? I love this topic, because I think it shows people's mentalities. Like when I'm looking at the comment section, look where we're going to. KS vibes. Why does it have to be Kevin Summers vibes? If I'm telling you what men are actually thinking. Why does it have to be KS vibes? If I'm telling you what men are thinking. If I'm telling you that we like natural and you tell me that we don't like natural, I'm saying that's what we actually like. Who's really controlling who? You're telling me what we like. And yet I'm telling you that's not what we like. We like this. When us men talk, this is what we talk about. And this is what I'm talking about in terms of our generation, not just in our generation, in terms of when men and women are talking, we don't get to talk, right? We don't get to talk because this is a part of conversation that we're just talking about, just relationship wise, in terms of what we like and what we see, what preferences, etc. And I'm saying to you, listen, like what the media show is very different to how when we're sitting down chatting, how it really is. Do you know what I'm saying? We you know what I'm saying? I'm not saying that every guy wants natural. That's not what we're saying either. It's not they're not saying that every man wants that. Just I know every man wants to date a black woman. That's not the case. It is what it is. But what we are talking about is that there are real things. So it's a why in women's business. That's not women's business if I like somebody. So it's like this is an important conversation because if you actually sit down and listen to men, you'll realize a lot of the stuff that the media are telling you we don't rock with. Like for instance, and what happens is sexual gratification and sexual validation is now becoming a currency for actual attention. And it's like, no, a lot of us guys will sleep, like a photo, like a picture, talk to these women, but a lot of guys now date with a regular girl, end up with a regular girl, right? The man that he cheats, the girl that he cheats with when he cheats with, regular looking gal. And you're like, what the hell happened? And it's like, you realize it's the media will sell us a lot of these images about what we want in women. But I totally agree. There are a large section in terms of their voice and the power that they have to say something that promote exactly what you ladies are talking about. They want a woman with bare makeup, want the lady with the BBL, want the lady who is going to be ultra submissive and never say anything and like red pill kind of stuff, right? There are a large section of those people who will preach that kind of stuff. But I'm telling you now, sit down with men in physical, have real conversations and not get triggered to the point you call me K. Samuel and actually listen to what we're saying. You'll realize that's a deeper echo chamber that will tell you really what we're actually looking for. I don't want to hear Kevin Samuels and a man there moving mad. I don't consider myself a Kevin Samuels follower. So just put yourself in around men and listen to what they really, really want, right? Good men. Not trash men that you don't want. No, good men. Put yourself around them and see what they actually say. And you'll realize it's a totally different conversation, bro. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, go on. Sorry, Seaway. I don't want to dominate the conversation.
No, this is what I will say. If the takeaway from you guys' point is that, women should not feel the need to change and alter themselves for men, if that's the reason that they're doing it. Because I can tell you honestly, most women aren't changing and altering themselves for you guys. A lot of times it's for themselves and for other women, to be honest. That's also the effect of the media. But honestly, if this is your perspective, then use your platform and use your voice to be the change you want to see. Because to be honest, the media ran by men is perpetuating this narrative that to be the most beautiful, you have to look like certain things, and it's the certain things that we're seeing. So if that is not what real men want, which to be honest, you may be like that. I know a lot of people, I know a lot of people, guys, who may say they don't want your wigs and they don't want your puffs either. So you may be saying, okay, I want your wig and I want your straight backs and I want your naps. Other people may say, oh, you don't want the wig. Other black men may say, yeah, I don't want your wig and I don't want your puffs either. So figure out. And that's why a lot of women, we just have this idea, just stay out of our business, because what you guys want changes with the wind, and we can't keep up with what you want. So we're going to do with what makes us happy. But I mean,
but isn't that the same thing with women though?
Yeah.
When, for instance, if I say to you, "Oh, every woman wants a six-figure man," that's not the truth. I spoke to many women who don't want a six-figure man. So if you see how quickly women say, "Don't get in women's business." That's what I'm talking about in terms of this kind of conversation that we have with women of this generation. We can't have a conversation without it becoming a problem, because you're allowed to have a preference. Not you personally, Seaway, by the way. Women are allowed to have a preference. When I say women, some women are allowed to have a preference in how they disclose and how they feel. As soon as we talk, some men, it feels like we're Kevin Samuels and someone else being labeled. But what you just said there is brilliant. You said what you were saying about, and that's why I used a point about saying, well, if you're saying what you're saying, then I can say that us men will say, well, you women change with the wind too. Y'all want six-figure men, 6 foot. Da-da-da. That's all you ever want. But when we sit down and talk with women, when I sit down and talk with women, I look at these women, I'm like, not everyone wants a 6 foot man.
no,
Not everyone wants not everyone wants six figures.
Most do, Kojo. We just make
Okay, if you want to say most, then okay. I mean, I've spoken to women that don't necessarily want a six figure.
They just made exceptions, Kojo.
Okay. So you're set now. Okay. see what you say? You want to say? You want to
no, just because they settled for something doesn't mean they don't want it. Don't
say that.
Don't have that right to you. They sold you a dream and you bought it. Come on now.
That's the thing, though.
Right mind. What pick Misha told you she didn't want no 6-figure one for man? Come on now, Kojo.
See,
get out of here.
That's the thing. It really boils down to a no-win conversation, though. Because if I'm a man and I say I love women who are natural, just being in the essence of yourself and natural hair and everything, there's a problem, because now the women who like to have their hair relaxed have a problem with me saying that. But if I say, wow, I love the women who have the wigs, the eyelashes, all that stuff, then the natural women are going to have a problem with it and say, well, why you guys don't appreciate us? Why don't black men appreciate natural women? So it's really a no-win situation. Kojo can go from one, I can go for the other. Someone in the audience is still going to have a problem with either one of our narratives when it comes to that. So is it something that we should share or something we should keep to ourselves? Because if we're sharing it, it's going to really benefit women more so to understand how men think. But if you don't want to understand how men think and just go off your own incorrect narrative, then keep being lost. Keep thinking this guy's a good dude. Keep going for the situation, a perfect situation. When it comes down to Deepti and when it comes down to Shake gave Deepti all she needed when he asked her those questions about her body, putting her on top of her head. She already knew that. She already knew she's going through experiences when she was younger about being shameful of how her weight. And she knew that, but yet she still picked him. Yet she still went after him. Yet she still accepted the engagement. This is what I'm talking about. So if you have women like this, in this example, you have the red flags right in front of you, yet you still go towards them. But you have men like myself and Kojo and some other men out there who are trying to tell you, okay, these are some things that you may need to pay attention to. And you say, no, I know what I'm doing. Well, keep doing the wrong thing then. That's how I look at it.
Okay, well, I'm glad that you guys are into the more natural look. I mean, there's still plenty of dudes who aren't, but your perspective shouldn't be shunned. You should be allowed to speak, and maybe women can find more. Maybe the natural women can find more men like you, and the ones with the BBLs can find the men who want that. And yeah.
I hear you on that. I hear you on that. That was a good conversation. I like that, man. Thank you, Seaway. I appreciate you, and I appreciate you always give us good feedback as well. So I appreciate you for that, man.
Yeah, Seaway. I appreciate you.
You don't have to agree, you know.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, but I know I appreciate the fact that you always are able to hold that conversation without it becoming emotional or personal. You know what I mean? That's what I'm saying.
Oh yeah, because I don't care if y'all say y'all don't like my wig.
Of course you don't. Of course you don't. You already gotten.
Hey,
you know what I'm saying? I don't care about that. I appreciate. Thank you for your feedback.
Yeah, no. I definitely appreciate you speaking on that. Okay, cool. Let's jump onto Shake since we did mention it, Shake and Deep, because that's exactly what we're talking about here, I guess.
Right. Let's get it.
Shake's problem with obviously Deep. And the fact that Deep unfortunately was on the end of Shake's madness. What was you guys' thoughts on Shake and Deep and their relationship during the course of this series as well?
See, you want this one?
No, you go.
All right. As I mentioned before, I think that it was doomsday from the point where Deepti, I'm gonna call it Deeps because I have a problem with it. I don't know how to say her name. With Deeps, with her interaction with Shake, when she knew that he was saying those red flag words to her, she should have let it go then. But I think what Shake's problem is that first he was telling everybody what his problem was with her. You know what I mean? You don't necessarily need to discuss all of that. But then at the same time, he told her. I think that was really disrespectful for him to tell her that, hey, I just don't have an animalistic attraction towards you. It was done from there. To be honest, it was done from there. Now, Deeps played it real cool because I still was up in the air about if she was going to say yes or no when it came to that. But I knew at that point that when she said no, I went back to that moment because no one wants to be in a relationship with someone who does not find them attractive. No one. So if you find that out, you're less likely to want to stay in that relationship. So as soon as he said that, it's over. Now, his behavior, one thing I will say that I don't necessarily think is a bad thing. I think if it's anything I can pull out and say that he's a stand-up guy for, is the fact that he did not have sex with her. Because then he would have been a user. He would have used her. He would have been really bad in my eyes if he'd done that. But the fact that he held back from that because he was not attracted to her, kudos for that, for him being a man enough to not, take her through that. Because that would have been really hurtful for him to say that and for her to hear that after the fact. The thing with Deepti, it seemed like she's still kind of working on the fact that she did have that past where she was heavier and was teased or, didn't feel good within her skin. And I think she was still having some emotional issues with that. So I think she probably needs to have that continuously looked at, or talked about with someone. She said she had therapy, if I'm not mistaken. But that's an ongoing process. But definitely, I don't think that Shake was the one for her, just based off of how he was behaving. But I will say this as well. The way Shake was his line of questioning to find out if the woman was heavy or slim or whatever the case is, it was horrible. His delivery all around is just horrible to me. But I will say this as well, that the other guys that are on there probably would say the same thing. The other guys on there probably have vetted the same kind of way. So the way you would do that, if you want to ask that type of question, is to say, hey, I love hiking. Do you like hiking? Oh, no, that's too much activity for me. I know. Once you hear that, you're like, okay, I can't put you on this list. I can't put you on that list. I'm just using it as an example of ways that men can ask those type of questions, sight unseen, and find out how active you are. So I'm not saying it's right. I'm not saying it's wrong. I'm just saying there are other ways that it's being done. And I think Shake is given a hard turn because of his delivery. And it's horrible, just horrible. But for those two, like I said, I just didn't see it happening from that point. When the way he was asking all the women, I didn't even think he was going to match anyone, to be honest with you, because his line of questions was the same for everyone. So definitely wasn't a Shake fan.
Yeah, definitely hear you, bro. And again, with Shake's behavior, again, you have absolutely every right to say that you don't find someone attractive, whatever, whatever. But again, I always say that truth without love is just cruel, man. And he was cruel, in the way that he did it. It's a constant telling everybody what you didn't, the constant telling everybody that he didn't like her as well. Was another thing, and the fact that obviously there must have been more things that have been said, so much so that men are now telling your girl, don't marry him. Like if we get to a point where we have to snitch, you must have been saying some really mad things. Because men are loyal to a fault. With even you can cheat and be like, listen, bro, that's your business. I can't get involved. What are you saying, Black?
I, I'm, I didn't mean to cut you off, but just because
No,
you're
go,
on that part, I just had
go,
this
bro.
question. This is a question more so for you, Kojo, and
Mm.
it's not really a right or wrong question, but I'm just
No, go for it.
curious about what you think about it. Do you think that Shane and Jared, because those are the two men who went to Deepti to tell her no, do
Mm.
you think that they broke code?
I don't think they were very good friends with him in the first place. So I think it made it easier to
Yeah,
do this. Do you know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Um, if he really was saying horrible things about her, saying horrible things about her, um, and I mean horrible things. And even I would have said something. I was like, babe, you're gonna make the biggest mistake of your life because he's out here telling us that you this, that, this, that. Do not marry him. You know what I
yeah,
mean? I think at this age now I'm at, I would definitely say something, whether you're my boy or not. I don't want you to. I don't want my boy to ruin his life, but I also don't want the girl to also ruin her life, right? By being in a relationship with somebody or getting married. Sorry, it's not even a relationship, but getting married,
yeah,
right, to
yeah,
someone, knowing that that you pretty much just you hate her almost. You know what I mean? Without saying you hate her, you hate her. So it'll be a waste of everybody's time not to say anything. And I just think that the Shake's overall energy is contemptible. So it's easier to kind of say something against him. Do you know what I mean?
yeah,
So
yeah.
yeah, for me, yeah, I would have said something.
I,
What are you
I, I
saying?
have to agree with you on that. I would say something as well, but I wouldn't. I'll be a lot more transparent about it. You know what I mean? If that's my boy, and I think it's a horrible relationship, yeah, I probably would have went and talked to her about it as well. But then I wouldn't went back to him and say, "Yo, bro, this is not gonna work." I even told your girl.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah,
I had a talk with her. I told her, "Hey, I don't think you guys are gonna make it." You know, to be honest with you, he may be mad at me, but it wouldn't be something that I would want him to find out at the reunion
mm,
because it's something about being real about the situation.
that's real.
Like if you're my true friend, I'm going to tell you what it is.
That's
You
true.
know, true friends aren't even about just telling you the good stuff. Just rooting you on all the time. It's about having those hard conversations too. Hey man, you're messing up right now. You got a good woman right here. You're messing up. Hey, I had to go and
Yeah.
talk to her. Tell her, hey, this is how you feel. She needs to know. Yeah, absolutely. So I'm with you on that. But I was curious about the bro code thing because I did hear that on another platform that bro code was broken. And I was like, I don't really know about that one. So yeah,
Well, first of all, they're not married. First of all, and
yeah,
they're on the show, and I don't know you that well. You know what I mean? So there's a lot of different factors already playing in. But if I take that aside, let's say that you're actually my boy. Like I've
mm,
known you for years, and this is a situation we're in. Yeah, and I can see that you're trying to still go forward this marriage thing. I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna tell her. Like, bro, listen, I'm gonna tell her what you. I'm gonna tell you. Maybe not. I'm not gonna say everything you said. I ain't gonna. I'm gonna say you down the river like that, bro. Okay,
right,
but
right,
I'm
right,
gonna
right.
say, bro, listen, I'm gonna tell her not to go ahead of this because what you're telling me right now, okay, it's gonna end in an absolute train wreck. Do you know what I'm saying? Even my thing, I've even told my boys, listen, fam, if you cheat on your wife and you come and tell me, we're gonna get into a fight because I don't want to see your wife
Hurt.
and have to look at her like that, bro. Do you
Mm,
understand? Yeah, when we're young and doing boyfriend girlfriend, I totally get it. Listen, I don't say it's right, it's not, but I see marriage as a serious thing. Don't come and tell me you cheat on your wife. I need you to hold it, keep it to yourself. I don't want to know that because I'm gonna sing like a canary. I'm gonna see her and I'm gonna feel so bad. Do you know what I mean? I'm probably gonna say something I shouldn't say. So my man them know that already about me. If you feel me, like I don't play with them things. If you're getting married, for me, marriage is such a serious thing. Do you get me? And I probably shouldn't say that if your boyfriend girl, it's still a serious thing, and people's feelings get hurt. But you're making a commitment to get married to somebody. It's for me, it's even more wilder that you would try and you know what I mean. So yeah, that's for me. That's what it would be. You know what I mean? Yeah, that's what it would be. Yeah. What are you saying, Seaway?
I mean, I think, like you said, it's the problem is not that he's not attracted to Deepti. Um, I know you were saying earlier that a lot of people said that she's so beautiful, and but just like with the Chris and Paige thing, we can't make a man be attracted to anybody, even if we think she's beautiful. I think Deepti's beautiful. Honestly, I do. I really didn't understand the disconnect, but that's not for me to understand. But I think his character is the problem. The way he went around and told everybody before he told her how he was feeling. I guess I disagree with Corey Black in the way I don't have a problem with him telling her how he was feeling. My problem is that he did it last. Like, you can say, how you're feeling, but don't embarrass me, go to everybody before you come to me, and then come to me. That is a problem. And then with the stuff that I heard he was saying behind the scenes, just never needed to be said. Like, if you don't find somebody attractive, you can leave it there. You don't need to go into your reasons why. And then even on the reunion, him like trying to passed her off to Kyle was ugly. The whole thing was just ugly. I didn't like that. So where I appreciated him bringing the realness to the reunion, we needed that. We didn't need Deepti did nothing but respect him. She was nothing but a respectful, good person to him, a good friend to him. And the way he carried on, and that's probably why he carried on the way he did, because his character was already on the floor. He was already the villain of the show. There was no further he could go. So why not spill the tea? He had nothing to lose because he literally crapped on a beautiful person. Whether she's pretty on the outside, people could debate that as long as they want to. But what's not debatable is she was clearly a really good person. And he is going to have to deal with that. But the reason why he didn't care, because he already looks like a bad person. So why not keep it going? So that's what I think about Shake. Shake has some demons that he's going to have to deal with. Like they said, whoever said it, he needs to figure out how to, I think it was Ayana or somebody was like, you need to figure out how to date as a narcissist. I mean, he really does. I know that's a buzzword. We like to call everyone a narcissist on YouTube, but I'm not one to diagnose, but he's definitely some type of something that he needs to figure out. So I'm glad Deepti got on. And I hope she's not with Kyle because he ain't no better.
I hear you. I mean, I know, Ayana. I put in my notes that I guess maybe it's me now. I'm trying to stay clear of this N word because I just feel like it. But I get what you're saying. I can see why they would call him a narcissist. Do you know what I mean? I can see why they would call him a narcissist. And I get it. I just, you know what? Sometimes I try to be careful now with the N word. Do you know what I mean? Just like you were doing, C-Way as well.
It's overused.
Yeah, just like you were doing. Yeah, that's what.
And a lot of things a lot of things look like narcissism. It could be something else. I really don't know what Shake has. He seems like he has some type of personality disorder, and that's where I believe it. He definitely has some type of personality disorder that seems to be getting in his own way.
I agree.
Because the way he reacts to other people, not just women, but lots of people, is kind of, unnatural. And that's why, like one of y'all said earlier, when Deepti saw that he had issues in the pod, she should have just kept it going, because although I still stand on, I saw glimmers of change.
Same here.
He wants us to believe that he never changed any of it. He wants to double down on what he did in the beginning. I don't care what he says. I saw
a change,
glimmers of a change.
Yeah.
But I think the real him, the real demons, his real issues just kept whatever, and so he's going to have to figure that out.
Yeah.
But alone, away from people. I
agree. He's got, it's, of course we know both of them didn't hadn't dated anybody within their own race as well. But the way he behaved was outlandish, and I'm not sure whether it's because obviously we like you said, I agree with you, C-Way. There was change. There was some glimpses of change. There was glimpses of a reality of understanding his behavior is poverty, right? And I think there were times where he was looking within himself because he got a chance to actually have a conversation that challenged him without the context of there being fear of judgment, right? So in the sense of like, you're in a pod, you're one-to-one with somebody, you can have a conversation with somebody, you're not necessarily, I know it's on TV, but you're not, but even though you know it's on TV, you're still one-to-one with somebody. Do you know what I mean? And so it's not that immediate, I'm in a room with people and someone can basically, basically people can challenge me, a bit like how we saw on the reunion. But when he was one-to-one with her, I think he was starting to deep some of the things he was saying. And I think he started to look at himself a bit more in terms of, hey, maybe I've been looking at things wrong. But as soon as the doors opened and he saw her, it's just like the Bible says, sometimes, when you think you're about to get saved and you think that they got the word, that the bird comes along and takes the word and takes it away. It's like soon as he got to the point where the trouble started, when he started seeing her, everything he remembered in his old life just came right back up, and he ignored all the progress he had made. There was not enough time to make that appropriate change that he needed to make. What's your thoughts back on that?
Yeah, I agree with you. I agree with something changed as soon as he saw her. Like, look, man, it looks is a huge part of it, bigger than a lot of people want to give credit to. And when he saw her, he just was not feeling it. He just wasn't. And he has the right to feel that way. No matter how attractive we may feel someone is, there's always someone who's going to look at that person and be like, so it's something we got to take into effect. It happens. But like I say, his demeanor, the way he just portrayed himself on the show at the reunion, it was just all bad, man, all bad. I mean, I spoke on Shake a little bit earlier, so I don't have much to say about him now. But yeah, man, he just like you said, the N-word is being used around a lot. I think that we do need to find other ways of relating to these type of people who think this way, who behave this way. I think he's just a guy who's used to getting his way. Like I said, I'm still a firm believer that the behaviors of a man that's grown as Shake is, his behavior has been winning somewhere. Somewhere it's been fine. People have been letting it go. They haven't been saying anything. Well, he just doesn't care. And I'm more leaning on the side he doesn't care, because at the reunion, people were saying, hey, Shake, stop. Just stop. Can you stop doing that, bro? Stop talking. Stop talking. And they still were like, he was still saying his two pieces. And, he's always keep talking. So that's the problem, man. That's a deep-rooted issue there. So he needs to get to the bottom of it. I think he knows he needs to do it, but he's not willing to do it. He doesn't want to do it.
You're muted, Coach.
You're muted, Coach.
Thank you, Siwe. Thank you. Yeah, you're absolutely right. It was a self-awareness for me, probably. That was the problem. And definitely people put there some good points that it was the change really happened when he saw her naked, or not naked, but saw her in a bathing suit. So yeah, he may have body issues, especially as him being big himself. But that seems extreme, right? Because of course everyone has their preferences in terms of body type. You know what I'm saying? You might like a girl that's a bit more trim, everything like that, blah blah. But to see her in the pool when you've already seen her in a dress already, and then unless we were being lied to by the camera tricks or something, she don't look that much different, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, so he may have an extreme aversion when it comes to body types and stuff like that. Do you know what I mean? So I think I think there's something he might want to look into there and maybe get some help around that issue, because it may be deeper than just a preference. There may be some underlying issues underneath that now that actually block him from making good connection, because it seemed like he had a good connection with Deep. And then all of a sudden, brother, I'm not attracted to her. After grabbing her ass and kissing her on the lips and everything like that, it's a bit of a mad thing. So, yeah. What are you thinking, Black? You looking at like you say something, bro?
Yeah, something just hit me. Like, I think you just mentioned that he was a bigger kid. When he was a kid, he was big too, right? Did he say he had a story like that very similar to Deep's? Maybe that's what it is, because he has so much emphasis on body size, right? And I've seen it before where people go from a larger size to a smaller size, and now they only want to date smaller sizes because they were teased so much as a bigger size, they don't want to have any of that resemblance of that in their lives, personal lives. So he may be shying away from his old self. Just a thought. Just something that hit me when you said. I forgot he did come out and say that he was a big kid. He was a bigger kid when he was younger.
Yeah, and that's why I think it's something deeper, because I'm a big kid myself. I was a big kid myself, you know what I mean, for years. But the way he kind of just flipped it like that, you know what I mean, so quickly after, and like I said, I think the correct even thing is it wasn't necessarily there at the time he saw her, but actually in the pool is where we kind of saw a bit more of the change and the struggle between how he felt. That's when he started, well, at least that's when they started showing us clips of him, how he felt towards her. So it still could have been when he saw her, but when we saw them at the pool, that's when they started releasing the clips. To be fair, he was still kissing her in the pool. So he was still kissing her in the pool, still hugging her in the pool. This brother might have had a problem from the very beginning. He just was buying his time to get to that point where, as well. So, and again, I know some people have said that he's kind of colorist as well, and I'm not really sure, because they would have had a discussion about ethnicity and everything like that, and also we already knew that he was only dating white girls anyway. Do you know what I mean? We haven't actually got anything to go on. Like, we already knew he was dating white women, same way Deepti was dating white men. Do you know what I mean? And we don't know. He never made any comments in terms of her looks, in terms of skin tone, anything like that. But we did say last time that maybe has she looked a bit more European, a bit like how Vanessa's a bit, Vanessa's got that kind of, is it Latino, like, I don't want to say, is it Latino kind of look? Would you say that, Vanessa? What would you say her kind of ethnicity type of look would be?
Yeah.
More Latino kind of look. Yeah, so maybe that's also part of it. I don't know, but yeah, I don't know. I mean, it could be. I'm not ruling it out. I'm just saying I didn't have enough evidence to make that kind of deduction, just because of he only dated white women and she only dated white men. So, but maybe there's something else in there. Maybe someone else spotted something. Go for it, bro.
When it came to Shake, I want your opinion on this.
Yeah.
I want your take on it, Kojo, from Nick's standpoint, and I want your take on it from Vanessa's standpoint. Seaway, if you were in Vanessa's shoes, the way Shake said that only woman I find attractive here is Vanessa. Was that not disrespectful to say that, knowing she's a married woman, or was he just speaking his truth? As Nick, Kojo, how would that make you feel as a husband and a man saying it about your wife when he knows she's taken? And you as Vanessa, Seaway, how would you feel if someone's saying that with your husband sitting right there?
You know what? I don't know if I would be annoyed by it, to be honest. I think I'd understand why the person said that. You know what I mean? Because first of all, my wife is attractive to me.
You got it.
If you're attracted to it too, sir, I totally understand. You know what I'm saying? But I think the disrespect maybe might come in, not necessarily with the comment, but the way the comment, the context of the comment, and how it's come about. That's probably where I can see someone getting vexed. I personally wouldn't have cared. I'd have been like, yeah, okay, bro. But I think it's a context of the way that he brought it about. It can definitely become disrespectful, because it's like, it's not, if you're complimenting my wife, calling it, but you're actually saying, I don't find none of women here, attractive, except Vanessa, and just the context of how it's come about, it's mad. Do you know what I mean? That's what's kind of mad about the situation, rather than actually the actual comment that he made. It's more the context for me, I would say. Do you know what I mean? Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right, Vanessa.
I mean, I just would have found it to be awkward. Like, I think she did find it to be awkward, but I wouldn't want my husband, my man, to be show any type of offense to what Shake says. Like, if you're reacting to what Shake is talking about, you're way too insecure for me. Shake is literally irrelevant. So I'm glad Nick ignored him as he should have, and I'm glad Vanessa just kept it moving. But as a woman, I feel like most of us probably would have felt like that was awkward. But I wouldn't want my man to react to that, because
I get what you're saying.
I'm cute. So you gonna react to every time somebody say something stupid? You gonna be reacting?
Exactly. I did like the fact that Vanessa didn't even say thank you. Like, she was just like, okay. I didn't hear her say I appreciate it.
I think she said it was. She said something like,
because she knows she's cute, so that's not gonna move her. But the thing is, like, She said it's a shame, I think is what she said. She's like, I've
Yeah,
been basically talking bad about you all night and you think I'm cute? That shows how effed up you
That's what
are.
she said. Yeah, that's
yep,
what she said.
yep. That's
I've
what
been
she said.
cussing you all night. Yeah, yeah, I've been
Yeah,
cussing you all day, and
yeah,
you're trying to
yeah.
be attractive.
And that's a good point. That's a good point. And that just shows that, how much attraction and looks can take someone. You can be the meanest person in the world, but as long as you're attractive and you agree to stand by somebody's side, they'll take it. That's what's sad about it. Yeah.
I do want to say in the comments before we move on from them that we don't have enough facts to say if Shake was a colorist. And I don't like to be one of these people who get up here and be creating scenarios in my head. I don't like that. But I will say that, Indians, just like black people, come in lots of different shades. And I do think that Deepti was on, the darker side of a lot of Indian women. So, that could have played a part. He didn't mention it, but I'm sure it didn't help. Also, her features weren't Eurocentric. And I think that maybe be the bigger part about it. A little featureism and colorism, I think, is probably what it boiled down to, on top of the fact that he just has issues. So,
I can't help but to think though um, that a lot of people were coming down on Shake, rightfully so, but there was a lot more to spread around than what they did. I would have really liked for them to really talk about the initial reactions, really show that, because the way what Mallory said about Sal, and what Shake said about Deeps, I think there would have been some truth to that. Maybe it would have been hurtful to hear it, but I think that the love is blind aspect of it all is still going to boil back down to looks. Because I can love you all day in the pods. You can get along just fine in the pods. But once I see you, if I'm not attracted to what I see, then I'm going to push back, naturally push back. So I think that would have kind of opened some doors there for that conversation. But I think it would have been a hurtful process, which could possibly be the reason why they didn't show it. But if they had showed that, I think a lot more people would be upset. A lot of more conversation would have been had to happen in the reunion. It would have definitely added some spice to the reunion. I do know that.
well, the difference between men and women is that Mallory was going to make it work with Sal. She wasn't attractive, but she was going to make it work like most women do. Shay couldn't.
But do you think Mal was going to say "I do" at the altar, or do you think she was going to say?
I think there was a good chance. Do I think she was going to be happy? No. Do I think she probably would have regretted her decision later?
Yep.
Quite possibly. But do I think she was going to say yeah? If I was betting, I would say yeah. I think she was going to say yeah.
See, I was thinking she would say no because of her reaction to Sal when he said no. She was so okay with it.
That was pride, though. I think she had a kind of prideful reaction to her.
I don't know. I think she was just too excited.
She was relieved. I think she was relieved. I'm not saying she wanted to do it, but I think she would have went along with it because she thought, even though it's completely not true, I feel like Sal is one of the biggest villains on this show, quiet as it's kept. But I think she thinks Sal was like the good guy that she's been turning down her whole life. So I think she was going to take a risk with him, even though I'm not convinced he was a good guy. So that's the reason why I think she was going to say yeah, because she's like, look, the crap I've been doing, I've been running after Jairus, even though I don't think Jairus that bad, but you know what I mean? I've been running after whatever I've been running after, and right now I'm going to try something different. I want my Sal with my banjo.
Yeah, I mean, he was putting in work. I ain't gonna lie. That singing and the banjo playing, he was putting in some serious work.
For a deal, though. That wasn't really for Mallory.
That was for what? That was for him?
That was Cap, I think. I don't trust anything Sal did post cookout. He did right post cookout. So
I hear you.
For good reason, for good reason. But I would respect more. A man that plays games to the level that Sal did is quite dangerous because he had us all fooled.
Yeah, the girlfriend.
When that girl came, bro, I was like, whoa.
And he's talking about his karma. You know what I think, Kojo, what it is? I think that Mallory is Sal's karma for the way he treated that girl. I think that's what he was saying. That Mallory is his karma for the way he treated that girl who came crying down to his sister's house. That's the karma I think it is. Because he know he did that girl bogus by leading her on that entire year while he was waiting out his time to get on the show. He probably liked her, but knew he was getting on the show. And then he gets with Mallory. Then Mallory has these dark arts, like you would say, that she had down to the cookout. And now he's crying. That's his karma. That's what I think. That's how I interpret it when he said that.
I definitely hear you on that. I think that both of them are villains. But I think Mallory's the only one that's getting a villain kind of interpretation. I think we called out Salvador from early, because the passive aggressive kind of movements. I think for me, after you're right, after he saw after he wept tears after seeing Jarrett and Mao talk, and all he did was say to Jarrett, "Did you say anything?" And all he could do with Mallory, I knew that there was gonna be a very deadly day coming, because you can't weep those tears and not do anything after. You know what I mean? Like, and then you were saying you're gonna go, and then you came back in. I was like, okay. And then we found out the girl. Listen, I wouldn't be surprised if he engineered the girlfriend thing. I won't be surprised if he said, "Listen, I haven't seen you in a little while," or maybe send a little message, "Hope you're good," with the hope that she would come over. Sometimes things work together for your good. Sometimes you might have done something which you didn't necessarily say, "Come over," but maybe saying hello would have got her. That saying hello might trigger her to come over, whatever. You know what I mean? Something like that. So I as soon as the situation with the Mao and Jarrett thing happened, I saw him weeping the tears that Jarrett was weeping at those times as well. Just that he didn't have a glass pane. I said I knew it was going to be long. You know what I'm saying? I knew it was going to be long. And then at the house when he was with and this is when I knew. And you guys know, you know Black as well, bro. If I have to, if we're talking to my family, and then she mentions, "Oh, I had connections in a pod, but da 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 da," and then I say to you, "Destiny's Child, say his name," right? There is no good coming from that. Me saying to you, "Oh, say his name." Not that, "Oh, you know what, you can say his name, it's not a problem, not a big deal," but say his name, right? As soon as you say that, I know there is darkness emanating from your spirit. You are ready to do kung fu business. Okay, dark arts is all you're about to do, because there's no way I'm going to out you like that to my family. Be like, "Say his name, say his name," right?
That was
Eh,
scary when he did that.
When he did that, I said,
Scary. I was like, sounds scary.
"That guy is a dangerous guy, bro." What do you think about that part, Black, where he said that? Because that was some darkness right there, bro.
Yeah, man, you can't do that. Yeah, you can't do that, man. I agree with you. I agree with you on that. What's interesting about it is that for Sal, in the whole arrangement with Mallory, I think that he was hurt by what took place at the cookout, right? And I think the whole thing after that was for him to show what she's about to miss out on. I don't think he had any more intentions on marrying her at that point. But I think the banjo, the music, everything like that, I think that was his way of saying, "Hey, this is what you could have had if you was up front with me and straight up with me. But since you're over there kiki and ha-ha with another dude, I'm gonna let you down." It's just something about the way he was moving. It was crazy, and it was just crazy, man. I'm sorry I don't have more to say on him, but I was in and out on errors, but that's crazy for me.
No, I hear you, brother. On that, I hear you on that. It was crazy, man. And like I said, I think with Sal and Mallory's thing, I know he didn't want to release some of the information. He didn't want to release the Kraken, but I wanted to know the Kraken. I wanted to know what Wagwan, because clearly some things went down. I didn't like Mallory's sister. I think she was also moving a bit mad. Mallory's sister, when he approached, um, you know So I'm not sure what was going on there. But then, yeah, I mean, Mallory had her own issues. Let me not try to play it like it was clean, okay? Because she was weeping too, okay? Let me not lie, all right? So she should have never been with, with Salvador in the first place. She was, and this is what I'm saying. I want to know about this. Why didn't they see? We could have asked Salvador, what did you think when you saw your girl weeping over another goon? This is what I'm trying to say. This is why I said to me, that's why I said to Sean on the last one. I said, there's no way I am going to be dating any. If I can watch it back in time, if I could, in general, if I could, and see my girl weeping over a man like that, and you're
Bruh.
gonna tell me, but I chose you. You didn't choose me. You lost the other dude, and that's why you're with me. It's not to do with the fact you chose me. Can't weep like that. Can't weep like that. No, 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 no. I can't weep like that. So she was weeping too, and she was playing her games. As soon as she thought Salvador was kind of find out about her and Jamal, about her and Jarrett, and she tried to play some games too. She was out here doing some black art, some very dark arts. Almost gets gaslit, almost gaslit the poor boy. You know what I'm saying? Like she brought him to the chamber. You know what I'm saying? Twisted him up a little bit, one or two times. And then really used. I don't know. Maybe not. I should give him better of the doubt. I'm not sure what she saw in terms of the girl coming to the house, but she really made sure that he knew, like, the boy that I chose second is not about to play me. You're not about to play me. Just to let you know, you're not about to play me, kind of thing. So, you know, um, yeah, it's a bit of a mad one. So I don't know. I wish we could have known more. There's so much more we could have learned about that. What was your thoughts then on the fact that Jarrett and Mallory thing, they just quashed it real quick, like the apology that he made and quashed it real quick. What was your kind of thoughts on that as well? And Ayana's thoughts. What was your kind of thoughts on that?
I look like Corey Black is going to say he didn't like it. I feel like that's all they really could do. Or were they supposed to drag it?
No, I'm not saying they're supposed to drag it. This was, I think as a man, I just saw what took place.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And Kojo, I don't know if you can relate to this, man. I mean, not saying that we are what we see, but we can identify, we can see some things that a man does and know what it is. That whole conversation about the ring and everything was Jarrett's way of saying, hey, you missed out on me. You chose him. You didn't choose me. And I'm going to show you why you should have chose me. So guess what? The ring on your finger is not gold. I would have gotten you a gold ring. That is what took her into that emotional cycle. Like, wow, he picked up on that instantly. This is the man I wanted. This is the man I like to go to the bar with and watch sports with and have a good time with. He would have loved me the right way. She realized at that point that she had messed up. She made the wrong decision. And Jarrett was just like, yeah, you did. He wasn't trying to get Mallory back, anything like that. I think he was just simply saying, you did this to yourself in his own way. And Coach, I don't know, did you pick up on it?
Yeah, I definitely think. I mean, I definitely think he was, just especially with the ring situation. Definitely, he flexed on hard, flexed on it hard. You know what I mean? I just wish that his end goal wasn't a wife. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
because that's a long-term commitment. If it's another girl, I get it, but it's a wife. So, are you sure that's the right commitment that you made? That's what I'm trying to say. Do you know what I mean? I know they've been married 9 months, whatever. Listen, maybe it's gonna work for them, and there will be the exception to the rule because most of the time this happens. That's a rebound situation. Do you know what I mean? So, but definitely he flexed on her, and she definitely felt it in her bosom that, you know what, I chose the wrong person. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, it's yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah, it's
Yeah.
tight.
The whole situation. I think it was a brush on it too because Jared is smart. He knows that's like the highlight of his whole situation. He's had that conversation with Ayana. He's already talked to her about that. So that's why I was able to be swept under the rug. If it was a next day situation, then yeah, it would have been hell coming in there. But because they had time to think about it, because they had time to talk about it, let it process, that's why I was swept under the rug. But I think it was just Jared just staying in his position that, hey, you picked the wrong guy. That's all I want to say anyway.
Yeah, that was a typical flex of a Chicago dude. I mean, that wasn't surprising to me at all. I don't think he wanted her back. I just think it was an inappropriate flex. He had to do it though. Like he had to get that flex out of his system so he can move on. Was it disrespectful? Sure, but he was gonna get that flex out, whether you liked it or not, whether Ayana liked it or not. He had to get that out of his spirit, And then once he was done with it, he was done with it. And I think Ayana, I know she checked him. If she checked him about that gift in them drawers, I know she got it. They got into it about that situation. So, as two married people, do we need to carry out our differences on a stage? No. Clearly, Sal was still feeling all types of ways like he'd been feeling, so he still had a lot to say about how disrespectful it is. But the two married people worked it out. So I was just like, moving forward, don't cause no more disruption in these people's marriage. They're the best couple we got. So let's just let them be. That's how I felt about it. I was just like, moving on.
I would have disrupted. I'm sorry. I would have got out of my system. We're at reunion. You're going to get it. Okay? Because I've just seen a clip here right in front of your face. I want to ask you to your face, what the heck happened there, brother? You know what I'm saying?
She said she didn't like it, though.
Huh?
He said it was wrong, and Ayana said it was trifling.
No, but it's the fact that we said it was a joke. It wasn't a joke.
Oh, well, no.
Oh, yeah.
Was lying with that. It was not.
Yeah, I would have held him to the fire.
It was not a joke. But was Ayana supposed to be like, Jared, stop lying? I mean, realistically, if I mean, for a good reunion, sure, but for a good marriage, I don't think so.
Yeah, no, I'm not concerned about your marriage. I'm concerned about the fact you said it was you tried to play me for an idiot. That's my concern.
You tried to play us because that wasn't a joke.
I'm saying that, and that's what I'm saying that Sal is very passive aggressive because you can't take me for an idiot, and that's probably like what you said at the beginning. But if everyone's taking a plea to be PR on the show, first and foremost, I'm gonna tell the truth. I'm like, listen, I'm not gonna do PR. But then I realized that the reason why they probably did PR is because none of them are clean. Like Jarrett can't say, okay, no, I'm going to keep it real, because he can't, because his bullshit is there. Sorry, my language. His bullcrap is there. And if he does come out of his pocket, there's enough ammunition to start telling about how you and Mallory are moving.
All
you know what
the
I'm
way
saying?
around.
And that's what I'm saying. Everyone's got that. Everyone's got it. So no one can really come out and say, apart from, and that's why I said that it looks really wild with Shake, but Shake was the only one that didn't give a hoots, because if you come at me and tell me what I did what I did, what it is. But everyone else was shook, because really and truly, like I said, they played part of the show. You end up playing a game in a sense, right? With the two people that you've maybe got in your hand, and none of them came off clean. Shane didn't come off clean because he knows he's moving mad with Shayna. Jarrett didn't come off clean because he's moving mad. The only person I probably could do it is Danielle and Nick, who had each other from the very beginning.
Deepti.
And nobody cared about them. Nobody cared. And Deepti obviously again, but again, she didn't come out with anybody. So
but even Nick's not clean, because I mean, they could have called him out on starting that crap with the Jared and Ayana and Mallory, because he's the one who sent started the whole drama. So I mean, I really feel like it's Danielle and Deepti, the only people who really didn't bother anybody else. The rest of them are just exchanged, and that's the reason again why Shake did what he did, because he's already on the floor. There's literally nothing else. Who can air him out? He's already aired out.
Yeah.
So he was trying to air everybody else out, and they were like, "No, I'm not going."
Yeah, I'm definitely hearing that still. Okay. I guess we can end on Jarrett and Ayana. What your final thoughts are on them, and this will be the end for us today, as the reunion is done. What's your overall thoughts on Jarrett, Ayana, them throughout the whole season, and then the reunion? What's your thoughts? Go for it, Seaway.
I'm real quick. I'll keep it real quick because
I understand.
I'm hurting anyway. But I mean, are they imperfect? I'll just sum it up. Are they imperfect? Yes. Do I think they're the best couple that we've seen on TV? No. I do think that Jared, up into the reunion, some of his behavior was not great. Being in the club at Persona is never a great place to be as a married or engaged man. But I did see a change in him at his wedding day. And even on the reunion, they seem to be in sync and on a good page and on a good level. So I really wish them the best, and I'm rooting for them. I know a lot of people saw stuff in Jared that they didn't like. And I get that. But, it's not going to be a lot of perfect men. And I think having a man that at least wants to be married is half the battle. And I see that in Jared. And that's more than I could say about a lot of men. And a lot of men, especially they come on these shows or coming on to play. And he seemed like he's taking his marriage very seriously. And I hope that, he doesn't let Ayana down. That's pretty much what I think about them. But their reunion, they stuck together. They clearly have this marriage mindset, because they were trying to, Ayana was very careful to hold him accountable, but also be like, hey, we're married now. We talked about it, but I didn't like that. So I thought that was good on the reunion. I really didn't want any more dirt from them because I want them to make it. And I don't think airing each other out would have been helpful for their situation. I can't imagine what it was like to rewatch some of the bullcrap that occurred, being second choice, or what he said down at the picnic, whatever. Those two things would have rocked any marriage. So the fact that they're still standing after rewatching that, good for them, because that would have been hard for me to watch. I can say that. So I don't know. I wish them the best though. I hope they make it.
Yeah. For me, when it comes to this couple, I want to root for them. I really do. But I see some things there that make this just like But I'm asking myself. I have to ask myself: am I saying because it's something that I wouldn't go for, or because it's just not a good fit? And I think it's because of things that I wouldn't go for, like certain things about the relationship, the things that I know I would not have proposed in the first place, to be honest with you. But for Jared, as far as him as a person, I think that he's cool because he's aware of Ayana. Everything she said, she laid it all out there for him. She told him everything about him, good and the bad, and he accepted her for that. And he still was willing to move forward for that, even with that. So I think that it's a stand-up situation. I think that Jared has that mindset of a happy wife, happy life. And I think that because of that, again, the energy is going to shift more towards Ayana than Jared because of that. And Jared is okay with that. So if he's okay with it, okay. If he loves it, if he likes it, I love it. But there was just some things about that took place in the pods and conversations in the pods that would be a lot for a man to handle, a lot for a man to pick up and be willing to carry. And I say he's a stand-up guy because he's willing to do it. So that's all I have to say about that.
Yeah, I agree with you guys. I mean, I think we've beaten this horse over the course of the weeks, and you know what? I'm just gonna say I hope they can make it through, because I think we can all agree what we saw in the beginning. It doesn't make for a good foundation per se. So, I hope that they, I hope that they actually do make it, and that you actually can make a great marriage out of it, and be that exception to the rule, because that's exactly what it will become if they can make it to the end. So, shout out to them for coming on the show as well, and to reunion and showing that unity. I really do hope that they go from strength to strength. So we'll see what happens. You know what I mean? We'll see what happens. That's what I would say. I don't want to wish them anything else but good luck. You know what I'm saying? But please, if you're out there, please don't follow this suit. Don't follow this pattern. If a man has just left his girl 5 minutes ago, you do not go and become his girl 5 minutes later. Okay, this will not end well for most of us. All right, this is a rarity that happens. Okay. So, audience members, we have come to the end of the show. It's been an amazing live, and I really do appreciate you guys. I really do appreciate you guys turning out. They want me to do the cry, so I'm gonna do the cry for you one time, okay? And then we can get. I'm gonna do the cry one time. I'll put my acting skills in for you guys, and I'm gonna jump. We're gonna jump off, okay? I'm gonna grab my towel, guys. I'm gonna grab my towel because it was a deep cry. It was a deep cry, okay? I have always my towel ready, okay? All right, and it was a bit like this. But thank you very much. So listen, it's been good. It's been amazing. It's been powerful. We've agreed and we disagreed. This is why I need Sean. He'd be out here saying we agreed, we disagreed, and it's been good. It's been good. It's been good. So, listen, audience members, we will see you again tomorrow night. I've got a nice little live I'm doing on emotional regulation. So tune in for that. I think it's at 1 o'clock. Well, 1 o'clock UK time. So that'll be for you guys 7 p.m. EST. No, CST, 7 p.m. CST, so 8 p.m. EST time for you guys. Also, I'm also involved in a contest called Influence Me TV. I've been rooted to join in. So I'm going to need you guys to tomorrow to be voting for your boy. Okay, I need the most votes to be drafted to the next round. You know, hopefully the end, if you win, you can be on a TV show. I want to embarrass you guys. You can win 100K. I will definitely represent you guys correctly. Okay, all right. Now I might act a little bit. I'm just gonna be honest with you. I'm not gonna play with you because I'm an actor first and foremost. But you know, I'll keep it respectful, guys. Okay, I'll keep it respectful. Yeah. But yeah, listen, it's been great. It's been amazing. Seaway, thank you. Black, thank you. Don't do anything I wouldn't do. There's not much that I wouldn't do. So we'll see you again very, very, very soon. And au revoir. Till next time.